It's time for Lander Valley High School basketball. Streaming video of today's matchups can be found on County 10's YouTube channel. Radio coverage is on KOVE 1330 AM or 107.7 FM. Now to the gym. Here's Matt Myers.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Lander Tiger Basketball on County 10 Sports Network. This is Matt Myers with Scott Fuller. And Scott, tonight we have a contest here in Worland between the Lady Tigers and Worland that both the boys and girls games should be interesting matchups. You never want to take these games for granted. Lander coming into this game has won 4 of their last 5 contests. They're 10-8 overall in the conference. They're 1-4, so they're in 4th place. They're averaging 42.8 points per game, and their opponents are averaging 46 points a game. But again, Lander is on what I would say peaking at the right time of the season.
Yeah, I think so too, Matt. And good evening, everybody back home in Fremont County. Hope you're enjoying your Friday night, and thank you for tuning in on KOVE or on the County 10 YouTube stream. We got some Friday night basketball in front of us, and this is interesting because Worland has had a bit of a difficult season. It's been a while since they've gotten a win, but we saw a similar team in Jackson earlier this week that had not won a game and gave Lander in the girls' game pretty much all they wanted in the first half of that game. The Lady Tigers came out in the second half and kind of took control of the game as we suspected they might, but it did take them kind of a full couple of quarters for the Lady Tigers to get their typical offense going. So 4 out of the last 5, obviously Lander's doing something right, but Worland, I think, is a little bit more of a trap game even than Jackson. And if the Lady Tigers don't get started how they want to here tonight, you could find yourself at the end of 3 quarters and all of a sudden it's a game. So start strong as the Lady Tigers have in the majority of their last 4 out of 5 wins in that little streak. They've had good closes to the first half, and I think that's what you're looking for tonight.
Yeah, and during this stretch, they beat some top teams in the state. They beat Mountain View, they beat Powell and Lovell, and they gave Pinedale everything they could handle. Just Pinedale got gone in that second half of their 3-point shooters in the Bowers girl. But again, Lander's playing really good basketball. Like you said, coming into a game like this, you got to be careful that you don't play down your competition, and records don't always indicate how well the other team is. And I think you'll see that with the boys' game, as Lander's record is not the best, but they'll give you everything you want as well. As you mentioned, the Worland girls coming in this game, they've lost 6 of their last games in a row. They also are 4th in their division. They're averaging 35 points per game, and their opponents are averaging 46 points per game. So quite a discrepancy there. Overall, Worland is 4-16, 2-5 in this division. Free throws, they're shooting 52% from the charity line, and Lander is shooting 56, and that has gone up actually over the last during this winning streak. But it should be it'll be an interesting contest. I think if you look at it on paper, you say, well, Lander will win this easy, and that's where you can get in trouble.
Yeah, I think so too. What's also interesting about this matchup is both teams, I'm not sure about Worland's schedule, but Lander has 3 games remaining in their regular season, including tonight. Their last 2 games are going to be home games next Thursday and Friday. And then you go to regionals in Thermopolis, where Worland is also going to be. And it's not impossible. We don't know what the seeding is yet, but it's not impossible that these teams see each other in about 2 weeks, which factors in kind of a little bit into how you might want to coach tonight, depending on how the game is going for both sides. So, you were schooling me, Matt, before the game on some of the history between these two teams. Back in the day, this used to be a rivalry. We saw a little chippiness in one of the JV games where the officials had to stop play and kind of separate some players, which is not typical of a JV game. But depending on how physical these games are and depending on how things start here in the girls' game tonight, you might see a revival of a little bit of that Canyon rivalry.
Yeah, Lander and Worland, they've won state championships in the boys' side of things. And there was a time there not too long ago where I think Worland had won one state championship in a row, and then COVID hit, and they were the number 1 ranked team in the state at that time, and so they didn't get to play at state. And then Lander had won the state championship either the year before or the year after. I cannot remember at this point. But so there has been a rivalry there, and in the girls' side as well. It's I don't know, maybe you'd call it more of a friendly rivalry, but it's still a rivalry, and I think it helps these teams to get up for the game. At least it should. But
well, you get to know all these teams, Matt, in your class, in your conference. You play them so often, and there are frankly so few teams that you travel to play. And so, yeah, that's a recent rivalry a little bit. And we noticed as the initial warm-ups before the start of this game, Lander girls look very, very relaxed, and which is good. They're loose. It's where you want to be. But you also, obviously, in any game want to get out to a great start, and you want to be the one dictating the tempo in the game. I think if Lander can play the game they're capable of playing in the first quarter, it should be a good night for them. But we saw in Jackson earlier this week against a winless Bronx team how that can go sideways no matter who you're playing.
Exactly. And, we talked with Kiara Friday after that game, who was our player of the game. And really, you wonder, had she not played basically her game of the year in that game, what would have happened?
That's a great point. It's got to be one of the best games of Kira's career, and she's been fun to watch over the last month or so that you and I have covered the team. One of my favorite players. She went off, I think, for 21 against Jackson and was selected as our Justice Jacobs State Farm Player of the Game. And we had a chance to talk to her after the game, but that's a great point because Anderson was having a hard time getting going. I think Hayden Goggles didn't score a point in the first half. She then scored double digits in the second half. So Lander kind of became the team that we're used to seeing in the second half. But that's what you like about this team, too. We've seen it over this recent win streak from Lander where if one girl is having a hard time and just not getting going, the whole team is not relying on that. There are other players that can step up and fill the role, and there's kind of a sense that they have where one game Adeline Anderson's in foul trouble in the first half, so Hayden Goggles has to step up and make things happen. And then Goggles is having trouble scoring on Tuesday in Jackson, so it's Kiara Friday who steps up and has, probably the best first quarter to fourth quarter game that she's had all season. But that's a sign of a healthy, well-coached team, too, I think, Matt, where you don't have the one or two superstars, and if they're having a hard night, you're in trouble. There's enough other pieces around the Andersons and the Goggles to make this any given night a win for Lander.
Right, and I think too tonight it's going to take more than just Kiara Friday having a good game, and we hope she has another great game. I think it's going to take a couple players to get that momentum gone. And but again, we'll see how this game starts, if they come out sluggish or if they, I think and I hope anyways that they learn from that game on Tuesday against Jackson. Don't take any team lately. No team's going to just give you a victory.
Yeah, I think so too. The coach has talked about it after the few losses that Lander has suffered on the girls' side recently. And that goes for the first half of the Jackson game, as you pointed out, Matt, because that was on paper that's a 40-point win for Lander. It didn't start that way, and it was a 3-point game at halftime. So, you get off to a strong start. This is a really good starting team, though. They do tend, as I mentioned, to start pretty strong in the first couple of quarters, especially at the end of first halves. They really have a tendency to get on little shooting runs and are still fresh in transition where the other team might be a little bit tired. So. Start strong, dictate the tempo, and Lander should come away with a win on the girls' side here in the first of our doubleheader, but you got to get the job done early on.
And the other factor, too, is that this is senior night for Worland, and so no team likes to lose their final game at home.
Right.
So that's going to be another reason why they're going to come out, I think, probably more aggressive and scrappier, and Lander just has to match that intensity. So we're getting ready here for looks like the Star Spangled Banner, so why don't we just we'll wait here for a second, and I think we're just going to leave it here once they do play the national anthem.
We have been treated, Matt, to some amazing performances by students or players on various teams. Not sure that we're going to have a live performance tonight, but multi-talented student athletes in a lot of places.
Yeah, for sure. That the lady who sang the national anthem in Jackson was very talented. So looks like we're getting ready, so we're going to just stay right here and you can join in.
Welcome to Warrior Gym. Thank you, Worland High School Band, for your rendition of the national anthem.
That was our national anthem by the Worland High School Band. And just a shout out to my daughter Larissa, who's in 8th grade. She is in the junior high band, and they had several flute players in the band here. So nice job there by the Worland High School Band. We're going to go ahead and just mention real quick that Worland is led by a couple of, and I don't know if these are twins, I'm guessing they are. But they're led by number 10, Nayeli Aguayo, Manaya Peterson, number 20, Madeline Glantz, number 3, and Yahara Aguayo, number 23, averaging 7.1 points a game. Also Mackenzie Ray, number 25. I should note, too, that because this is senior night, my guess is there's going to be the seniors for Worland could be starting, and so we may adjust that lineup once we see it. For Lander, it's going to be the usual suspects, if we can say that. It's going to be number 2, Kendall McFadden, number 13, Zoe Mulholland, number 24, Kiara Friday, number 32, Queen Goggles, and number 50, Adeline Anderson. And we're going back here to see who Worland is starting. Number 12, Taylor Simmons is on starting as well. So I'm guessing, Scott, that they are starting some of their seniors more so than normal. But
yeah, sometimes, Matt, you see the non-starting seniors recognized without them being in the starting lineup. But the Warriors do appear to have shuffled that starting 5 for senior night. That's my best guess as well, based on the starting lineups we were expecting.
So we're getting ready here. The lights are back on, thank goodness. I can see to call the game. Lander will be gone left to right on the radio dial, and Worland will be gone right to left. And right now the band just stopped. It's a little hard to hear when the band is playing, but we are ready for tip-off. And the tip is going to be won by the Lady Tigers. Goggles will bring it up the court. Friday has it out front. Looks like Worland is starting out in a man-to-man defense. So the Tigers are going to be looking to find a hole in that defense. Friday has it, dribbles in the paint. Nothing there, back out to Goggles. Now McFadden thought about the three. Right side to Mulholland. She thought about the three as well. They've given them those shots. We'll see if they start taking those here in a bit.
Lady Tigers really trying to work the ball inside, though.
Shot no good. Rebound comes down to Peterson. Excuse me, Aguayo. And Lander in the man-to-man defense as well. Aguayo dribble drive to the right side. Back out front. Near steal by McFadden. As Aguayo drives the right side. And drive baseline. Now she throws a nice pass in there to Yahara Aguayo. And Worland's up first here.
Both teams working their offenses, being very patient. No transition game to speak of on either side. Here again, Lander is working the outside, trying to get the ball into Anderson.
And Anderson drives, and she's hit. No call. Very shocked about that. She was hammered. As Aguayo drives, puts up the shot at the other end, and looks like she steps out of bounds.
Back to that last sequence for Lander, I agree, Matt, there was a lot of contact down there, and you wonder, is that just one call, or is that how this game is going to go? As a player, you kind of have to, there's nothing you can do about the officiating, so you have to try to adapt to it.
Exactly, and that's the key is got to adjust. Friday's going to drive in, puts up a shot, it's no good. Mulholland with the rebound, it's no good. Friday with another rebound, misses that shot. Mulholland puts up the offensive rebound, and nobody hitting right now for the Tigers.
A little bit reminiscent of that slow start on Tuesday in Jackson, where the Tigers aren't doing anything wrong. They're just not getting shots close into fall.
Now, 18-foot shot is no good by Ray. Ball goes out of bounds and back to the Tigers.
See if Lander can establish a little bit of their more typical offense of Goggles and Friday. Maybe work Friday in outside and get the ball into Anderson.
Fadden has on the right side, drives the left, back out to Goggles, fires up the three. It is no good. Fight for the rebound. And it's going to go back to the Lady Warriors.
Quick three and an open look there. Not sure she ever got her feet set before she let that ball go, and the Lady Tigers are still scoreless for the moment.
They're getting the shots I think they want,
yeah.
And like we said, just hopefully they'll start falling for them. Worland breaks the Lander press. Ray has it now in the corner to Peterson. Thought about the shot, now she does shoot it, and that is blocked by Anderson. McFadden's going to bring the ball up the court. Back to Mulholland at the top of the key. Goggles drives baseline, puts up the shot, it's no good, and right now the Lady Tigers just can't find that basket.
That was a tough shot there from Goggles coming in with her left hand, kind of a tough angle on the backboard.
Aguayo puts up the shot, no good. McFadden with the rebound, throws the pass up ahead to Goggles, and that's going to be actually run down by Simmons. Worland back on offense. Aguayo has it. There's two Aguayos out there, so I'm going to try and get their names right. That's number 10. That's Naeli Aguayo. And it's 5-0. Worland up early here in the first quarter with 4:20 to go.
You see Goggles as she drives in and tries to go up and under with the right hand, missed the shot, but I believe was fouled. You see her have that sense mentally of it's not working. My team is not quite clicking yet for whatever reason, so I'm going to force the ball in there and try to make something happen. More often than not, it works out for her. I guess she was not shooting when she was fouled there, Matt.
It's good to see her drive into the basket as well. St. Clair in the game for the Tigers. Interior pass is stolen away by the Worland. They're going to come back up the court. Yahara Aguayo passes the ball inside to Simmons, and she's going to step on the line. So back to the Lady Tigers. Little sloppy game so far. Again, Lander getting some of the looks they want, just shots not falling at this point.
Yeah, just keep working the offense. Happens to every team, regardless of your record or how many great players you have. Sometimes it just doesn't fall, so keep working that offense and keep doing what you're doing.
Friday drives in, puts up, Crusher's going to shoot. She passes out to Anderson for long. 18-footer, no good. Rebound comes down to Aguayo. And that's going to be knocked out of bounds. Going to stay Worland basketball.
Over 4 gone now, and Lander still scoreless, and Worland trying to add on here under the basket.
Simmons gets the inbounds pass. Dribble drive right side. Now in the corner. That shot is good. It's just a 2-point shot by Madeline Glantz. And excuse me, Lander may be in need of a timeout here to kind of get them gone. They're just not hitting the shots they need to.
Yeah, I think what they're doing right now is pass around outside and try to get it inside to Anderson.
And they do, and she misses that turnaround jump shot. So this is, again, it's a good test for the Lady Tigers. You don't want to see them start like this, but they got to be able to play through this. Now, pass goes to Yahara Aguayo. Back to Mackenzie Ray. She fires a long shot, no good. McFadden with the rebound. Bring that ball up the court. Gets it back to St. Clair. Now in the corner to Goggles. Fires a long 3-point shot and misses everything. And Lady Tigers is a little cold right now.
Yeah, and you're starting to see a little bit of panic set in on the offensive possessions. Lander saying, what in the world? We're not used to this. Still scoreless with just 2:16 to go in the first quarter.
Aguayo drives baseline. Nothing there. Gets it to, I'm guessing that's her sister. That shot's no good, and Adeline Anderson comes down with the rebound. Up ahead to Goggles, puts up the runner. Finally, the Lady Tigers score. Hayden Goggles with the runner in the lane. And maybe that's what the Lady Tigers need to get gone.
And some immediate full court pressure leading to a Worland timeout. Lander, following their first 2 points of the game, went full court, and Worland will decide what to do about that.
So we got a quick timeout here, 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Worland up 7-2. Just a couple minutes to go here in this first quarter. And let's just thank one of our sponsors, Bailey's Tire and Auto. They're proud to support our local athletes. Our full-service tire and auto shops are located at 755 South Federal in Riverton and 1305 West Main in Lander. Also, Myers Gambles on Main Street in Lander is excited to cheer on our student athletes. Gambles has winning deals, and remember, delivery is free 30 miles from the store. So that includes Riverton. Turn around, shop in town. So after this 30-second timeout, it'll be Lady Warrior basketball.
Lander's press has been effective and disruptive, and they do a great job of using it to lead to quick scoring on the other end as well. We'll see if Lander can spark their offense by some good defense.
Yeah, it looks like Navarro's in there, number 30 for Worland. Get the ball in the corner to Mackenzie Ray, being guarded by Anderson. Back to Glantz. Worland continuing to work the ball. Navarro's going to lose it, but it goes right back to Glantz. And her shot is good. She's got 4 points now, and Worland is up 9-2. Friday turns, puts up a short shot, no good. Gets her own rebound. Good hustle by Kiara Friday. Now the pass inside to Goggles. Hayden Goggles that shot is good, and she is fouled.
I love about Goggles is she's on the weak side of the play. She's away from the ball, and all the attention is with Anderson and the other side of the play. So Goggles says, I'll just go to the basket. And she found herself open, put up the shot, and was fouled.
Free throw on the way is good. So now the score is 9-5. Lander starting to get back in this game a little bit. Glantz with it, drives right side, nothing there. Navarro back out to Robertson, fires a shot, it's no good. And it looks like McFadden comes down with it, being trapped in the backcourt. And they're going to call jump ball. She might have got away with the travel there. Jump ball will go back to Worland.
And McFadden needed some help there. was double teamed and then put the ball down for a single dribble and picked it back up, and the Warriors able to force a change of possession with a jump ball.
And sometimes you get that ball in the outlet, you can get a fast break at the other end as well. Jump shot is good by Mackenzie Ray, and Worland playing really good right now. 35 seconds to go in this first quarter. And Kenna McFadden's going to be called for the travel. I think she was anticipating her teammate cutting baseline, and then it just closed. And for Lander is going to be number 4, Kara Lincoln.
Obviously way too early to panic. 6-point game right now, and still just at the tail end of the first quarter. But yeah, I've been impressed too.
We got some incidental contact at midcourt as Friday is going to foul Madeline Robertson. Still that's only Lander's first foul, so there will not be shooting the double bonus for this quarter.
Like that Friday's always thinking, even when she's not on the offensive end, she's always thinking about how to create something or create a problem defensively for the opponent.
And it looks like the ball is going to be lost by Naeli Aguayo. Back to the Tigers with 20 seconds to go here. We'll see if they can get a shot off. Be a good way to end this quarter. Lincoln has it. Dribble drive out to the top. Back to St. Clair. Goggles has it. Puts up a runner. It's no good. And should be a travel, no call. But that's going to be the end of the first quarter. And at the end of one, it is Worland 11, Lander 5. Again, another uncharacteristic slow start. So we're going to take a 1-minute timeout, come back with the second quarter after this message.
Mountain View Supply, your local experts in fire and water. We got everything you need for new installs to accessories, and don't forget our great selection of stoves, grills, and spas. We've been serving Wyoming for over 40 years, so you know you can trust us for quality products and expert service. Visit portersmbs.com or stop by our Riverton or Casper locations today. Porter's Mountain View Supply, located on 750 East Sunset Drive in Riverton.
Myers Gambles is your one-stop shop for furniture, mattresses, and appliances in Lander, Wyoming. We have an unbeatable selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, and dining room. Plus, we have the latest trends in home furnishings. Our mattresses are comfortable and affordable, and our appliances are built to last. Whether you're looking for a new TV, sofa, or refrigerator, we have the perfect finish, style, and function for your home. Visit us at 420 Main Street in Lander, or check out our website, landergambles.com.
Now Meyer is back to start the second quarter with Scott Fuller. Again, Lander trailing in this one 11-5. See if the Tigers can get on the court here as Goggles fires a three-point shot from the corner. No good. Lincoln with the offensive rebound. And it is, the putback is good.
Count the basket, quick whistle after, as one of the Worland players appears to have sustained an injury, so the official stopped the play.
She's in a lot of pain. I don't know if that was an ankle or a knee. I didn't see what happened on that.
Hopefully she's all right.
And we're going to...
I can't imagine, Matt, that Worland has started many games like this. That first quarter was not a 4, 5, 6 win basketball team. They are pretty well put together. Meanwhile, Lander's having a hard start to their shooting, as you see Worland's player
that is
gingerly coming off.
Manela Peterson. She is in a lot of pain. And again, I didn't see what happened. I don't think that's an ankle. I think that was a knee. Hopefully she's okay. You hate to see a player.
Hope it's an ankle. There's
that's
a
true.
lot of things that can go wrong with your knee that are a lot worse. Yeah, she's going to go to the auxiliary gym and get checked out by the training staff. Definitely hoping she's all right.
Worland's got to inbound it. Again, Lander in the full court press. Farrell has it now. Glance up ahead to Robertson. Back out front. Lander playing man-to-man. Running shot is no good. Anderson with the rebound up ahead to Goggles. Now to St. Clair. The running shot is good. Sandra St. Clair on the board. And we got another quick 20-second, 30-second timeout as Lander has cut this lead to 2. And they scored 2 quick buckets. This is kind of what we've seen from Lander in the past, how they play. And I don't know, Scott, sometimes you wonder if playing a team that maybe is not doing well on the season, if you lose some of your intensity or what exactly it is, because we've seen them now 2 games in a row just not quite playing up to what we've seen.
Well, every game is different when you're playing, and it's just impossible to be at the same intensity level for every opponent. So you're going to play state-ranked teams, and that's been some of Lander's best basketball. But then when you play these lesser-winning teams toward the end of the year, I think it's only natural that you, to some degree, not let off the gas necessarily, but things just may work out differently.
Exactly. Guayo's going to pass the ball inside to Mackenzie Ray, and she's going to score that basket. So again, now Worland up 13-9. Pass inside is going to go back to Worland. Turnover by the Lady Tigers.
Again, pressure looks like a 2-2-1 full court press from Lander.
Glantz has it right side, now back to Guayo. Left side to Glantz, dribble drive out right side. Navarro has it. Nothing in the corner. Pass almost stolen out front by Lincoln. Guayo now has it again, back to Glantz for a 3-point shot, no good. Gets her own rebound. Shot is actually hits the backboard, and that shot goes out of bounds, so it will stay Worland basketball.
A lot of hustle on that play from Lincoln. The only thing she didn't do after a lot of running and a lot of defense on that play was box out. I think she had a chance for that initial rebound.
Robertson gets it out front to Guayo. Back to Glantz. Worland working the ball in. Now they get it to Guayo. Ray has it back to Guayo. Thought about the 3. Now she's going to put up a 15-footer. It's no good. And there's Adeline Anderson with another rebound. Up ahead to Goggles. Tigers going back on offense. In the corner to Friday. Right side to Lincoln. Drives down the lane back to Friday for 3. Shot is no good. Comes down to Worland. And Worland's going to run up ahead. Guayo with the shot and drive. Worland answers Lander's quick spurt with one of their own, and they're up 15-9.
Worland's playing Lander's game. Good in their set offense, good passing, good shooting. Those are falling, and a little transition game, too.
St. Clair's going to shoot a 3. That looks good, and it is not. And there's a Guayo for another rebound. And she's going to bring that ball up the court, puts up the runner. Shot no good. Anderson with another rebound. Goggles has it, going to drive down the lane, puts up the runner. It's no good. And Yahara Aguayo gets it up ahead to the other Aguayo. And they're just going to hold that ball out front for now. Looks like Lander went back to the zone.
I like that idea from Worland, just a couple times straight back and forth up the court. Just slow things down, run your offense.
In the corner to Glantz. Now to get it inside, back out to Glantz. Now to Yahara Aguayo, 3-point shot, no good. Rebound comes down to Friday, and she's going to get the pass up to St. Clair. Back to Lincoln for 3, and she banks it in, and hey.
I'm sure she called that. It goes in, it goes in.
Well, in a game like this too, Scott, it's like when they go in, you take them. So.
Well, the thing about Lincoln's shot too, Matt, is it's got a lot of arc to it, and she goes up before she goes forward with it. And some players you see have a more straightforward kind of line drive shot, especially from that far out. And if you have a nice high arcing shot like Lincoln does there, you have a better chance of good stuff like that happening, even if the shot isn't really straight on the money.
Exactly. But we'd like to thank Galdern Construction. They're a proud supporter of Fremont County Athletics. Galdern Construction offers friendly construction services that are always on time and aligned with your budget. You can reach them at 851-4517. So with that three-point shot, Lander trailing 15-12 in this game, and Worland will get it again underneath their Tigers basket. Lander still in that full court press, and the ball almost stolen. Glanz has it now up ahead. Looks like they're going to back out to Aguayo. Inside to Navarro, shot looked like it was blocked. Fight for the rebound, comes down to Ray. And I apologize. Worland will get the ball underneath their own basket. Glanz has it. 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Aguayo turns and shoots. Shot no good, but the ball is going to land on the baseline, so it'll be Lander Tiger basketball.
It's apparent enough here in the first half that these officials are going to let these players play. There's been plenty of contact going both ways, so that's something, as we mentioned earlier, you have to adjust to as a player. Not totally alter your game, but just be aware that if you get a little contact, it may not be called against you.
Looks like that shot was actually blocked, so it does stay Worland basketball. Three-point shot is good by Taylor Simmons, and Worland getting contributions from just about everybody on their team right now. And they're up 18-12 here in the second quarter. Lincoln drives to the basket, and it's going to be called for the charge. Not a lot going right for the Lady Tigers at this point.
Got to give Worland a lot of credit. They have come out strong here on senior night, starting all 5 of their seniors, which we don't believe is their typical starting lineup. But they came out strong. They're getting the bounces. They're playing hard, and Lander just can't get a shot to fall.
Simmons has it now for Worland. Gets the inside pass to Navarro. Back out to Aguayo. Three-point shot, no good. And Navarro had that inside. Nobody on her, but lost it out of bounds.
It hit just a little bit of the rim, the three-point attempt did, and it threw off the rebound attempt enough where little things like that, though, Matt, that's a sure 2 points for Worland. She's not going to miss that shot, but it goes out of bounds to Lander instead.
A break there for the Lady Tigers. Mulholland back in for Lander, as well as Goggles and McFadden. McFadden has it out front. Tigers looking inside. Worland looks like still playing the man-to-man. The interior pass is now going to be tipped out of bounds. It'll stay Lady Tiger basketball.
I don't think either official saw it, and that's a break for the Tigers. It looked to me like it was kicked out of bounds by Lander.
McFadden has it out front. Back to Goggles. Drives into the lane. Contact, no call. Friday has it. Back to St. Clair. Fires a three-point shot. No good. Rebound to McFadden. Passes it to Mulholland. A nice hustle by Kendall McFadden in there to get that offensive rebound. And that'll send Zoe Mulholland to the free throw line for 2 shots.
With Lander trailing by 6 at the moment with 2:45 to go in the first half.
First free throw on the way is short. He'll get another one. 2:45 to go here in this second quarter. I don't know, maybe Lander just likes to make it a little interesting for us, but
I'd rather see them up by 20 at this point than have a more interesting game, but that's just me.
Second free throw is good by Mulholland. Georgia Chance in the game also for the Tigers. And Anderson back in there as well. Aguayo has it. Right side to Robertson, back out to Aguayo. And hand it off to Glanz, dribble drive on the right side. And get it back to Navarro. Navarro drives down the lane. There's nothing there. Gets her own rebound. Back out. to Madeline Glanz, and she scores. That's her 6th point, and 20-13. And Goggles, boy, that could have been an offensive foul. And boy, the Worland coach wanted the offensive foul. He probably had a right to call that one.
Well, it should have been a foul on somebody, whether it's offensive or defensive. Yeah, I agree. Easily could have been an offensive foul. And I mentioned the officials are letting them play. That was I've seen less impactful hits in football than that one.
Yeah, that was not a flop in any stretch of the imagination. Navarro has it back out to Glanz. She's going to fire. Oh, I thought her foot was on the line. They're going to give her a 3. I could have swore her foot was on the line, but now it's 23-13. Lander's just got to maintain their poise here.
So Worland is doing to Lander what Lander has done to so many teams and really going on a run here at the end of the first half.
Now the pass is going to be stolen by Navarro. Up ahead, the shot is blocked out of bounds. Now they're going to call a foul on that, but it might have been a foul with the body.
I believe that's only Adeline's first.
Which is a good thing,
for the Tigers.
So Navarro will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. First one is no good. She has yet to score, but she's been involved in quite a bit of their offense so far.
Talk about your high arcing shots. If you're watching on the YouTube stream, this one almost to the top of the backboard.
Second free throw, no good. Rebound comes down to Anderson. Up ahead to Chance. And at this point, Adeline Anderson has not scored. She has 5 rebounds, but they're trying to get her the ball, and nothing there. Chance will fire the 3, and it's good. Georgia Chance with the 3, and that's, boy, the Tigers needed that.
Yep.
Just under a minute now to go, 23-16. Simmons has it now, back out to Navarro. Worland's going to work the perimeter. Now they get it inside to Ray. Looks like Worland may be working the clock here. Interior pass is stolen away. Here comes Goggles with it. Plenty of time for the Tigers. She's going to drive, got away with the travel. Nope, she did not. And I think Scott Lander may be pressing the issue just a little bit here. They seem to be a little flustered, not panicked, but they're playing that way. And I think if they can just calm down, they're going to be okay.
Well, they're a team capable of fast breaks and scoring runs. So that kind of, when things aren't going right, that's kind of your default.
Now interior pass and shot is no good. Anderson with another rebound. Goggles has it. 7 seconds to go here. And that pass is going to be stolen by Glanz. 1 second, fires a 3-point shot, and thank goodness that is no good. As the half comes to an end here in Worland with the Lady Warriors up on Lander 23-16. Worland outscoring Lander by 1 point in that quarter. Before we go to our halftime break and come back with some stats, just a comment here, Scott, that you hate to see Lander struggling like they are. Sometimes you have to, you go in a nice little run there, 4 out of 5 games, and maybe they, like you mentioned earlier, playing some top teams, maybe they let down a little bit, and they just got to get that intensity back and play within their rhythm.
Well, I've seen some mistakes from the Lady Tigers. It wasn't a perfect first half, but I think most of their issue was the shots just weren't falling. And as that half progressed and Lander got further and further into the hole, you may start to hurry things a little bit and not slow things down and run your offense. So I think that does contribute to it. On the flip side, Matt, Worland is overachieving for the season that they've had so far. That has to be one of the better, especially against a team like Lander, that has to be one of the better first halves that Worland has played. So that's an interesting dynamic going into the second half, because on the one hand, you figure Worland can't keep it up forever. You figure Lander hasn't gotten going yet, kind of like in Jackson on Tuesday. In the second half, they just turned the lights out on Jackson. But it's senior night, and Worland's riding high. And, if we said it on Tuesday, but Lander needs to come out on about a 6-0, 10-2 run in the third quarter and regain control of this game, because you have a bigger crowd than usual here in Worland. It's senior night. You've got the emotions of the bench and the players. That's a strong thing, especially when you're Worland. You go into the locker room. Not sure what they were expecting coming into this game, but Lander sure has a better record on paper than Worland does. And here they're up 23-18 on the halftime scoreboard. So that first about 3, 4, 5 minutes of the third quarter, pretty important for Lander to come out and establish themselves in the kind of basketball that they typically play.
And it's interesting, too, to note that Lander has beat the top teams in the North Quadrant, and those are the teams that have basically beaten Worland easily. So a lot of it's mental. You just have to get your head, back in the game and realize that you're capable of winning games like this. And just like you said, I totally agree that the start of this second half is going to be crucial to how this game is finished. So why don't we take a timeout here, send this back for some commercials to our sponsors, and we'll come back with some stats after these messages.
I'm gonna text Allison. Hey, hold up, Matt's calling me. Hey, we got the food and we're on our way right now. Hey, who's coming, bro? You're the one that keeps help.
At Eyes on Fremont, we know that good vision is about more than just seeing clearly. That's why we're dedicated to providing expert eye care for the whole family. From children's exams to contacts, LASIK to glaucoma treatment, we're here to help. We accept most insurance plans, and our experienced team will make sure you feel right at home. Schedule an appointment today at 111 South Broadway in Riverton, or give us a call at 307-856-9000. Visit WyomingEyes.net to learn more.
Allison at lunch today? I'm gonna text Allison. Hey, hold up, Matt's calling me. Hey, we got the food and we're on our way right now. Hey, who's coming, bro? You're the one that keeps help.
At Eyes on Fremont, we know that good vision is about more than just seeing clearly. That's why we're dedicated to providing expert eye care for the whole family. From children's exams to contacts, LASIK to glaucoma treatment, we're here to help. We accept most insurance plans, and our experienced team will make sure you feel right at home. Schedule an appointment today at 111 South Broadway in Riverton, or give us a call at 307-856-9000. Visit WyomingEyes.net to learn more.
Welcome back to halftime here in Worland and the Buckle Up for Life White Dot halftime show. Matt Myers with Scott Fuller. Lander down here at halftime 23-16. In this contest, Scott, Worland at half is led by Naeli Aguayo with 5 points. She averages she averages 7.8 points in the game, but Madeline Glanz averages 2.5 points a game. She's already got 9. And Mackenzie Ray has 4 points, as well as Taylor Simmons with 3. Yahara Aguayo with 2. And that rounds out the scoring for the Lady Warriors. Lander is led by Kara Lincoln with 5 points, followed by Hayden Goggles with 4. Georgia Chance with 3. Sandra St. Clair 2. And Zoe Mulholland 1. Here's the interesting stat, Scott, that I think tells the story in this first half. Kiara Friday and Adeline Anderson have not scored in this first half. Kiara Friday has 4 rebounds and Adeline Anderson has 6, but they have not been able to get that basket, the ball in the basket, and I think that is, to me, that's probably the main factor as to why Lander is down.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's a little bit of a scary circumstance here for Lander. They've got a lot working against them. So on the one hand, Worland overachieving, Lander underachieving. You figure that evens out a little bit in the second half, but they're on the road, the Tigers are, and it's senior night here. And it's a little reminiscent of Hayden Goggles' game in Jackson last Tuesday, where she was also scoreless in the entire first half, which we're very unused to seeing from Lander's starting point guard who can score from all over the floor. So she did end up scoring in double digits. If Kara Friday and Adeline Anderson end up in double-digit scoring, Lander's going to walk away with the game. The scariest thing for me off of the stat sheet, Matt, apart from that, is it never felt to me once in the first half that Lander was in any kind of control of the game. It was Worland dictating the tempo. It was Worland that was able to hit their shots. Lander was reactionary pretty much the entire first half. And that combined with you're on the road, it's senior night, there's a lot of emotion in the building, a bit of a bigger crowd than usual. Lander is fully capable of going on streaks and runs and breaking momentum and then turning this game around. We saw it in Jackson on Tuesday. But if you're looking for a recipe for an upset here from Worland, all the elements are right here. So it's going to be on Lander to come out and dictate the tempo and play within control and do what we know they can do. But, that's why they play the game. It doesn't matter how many wins a team has, and Coach Powell echoed that before and after the game against a winless Jackson team last Tuesday, where you just have to treat every opponent the same. You know that, but the emotions of your mind are a different thing. So Lander's start to the second half going to be really important.
Yeah, in that second quarter, Lander scored the first 4 points quickly, and then Worland countered that, and then some turnovers by the Tigers kind of kept that momentum going for Worland. So I think, I don't like to predict in a third quarter how it's going to go, but I would be shocked if Kiara Friday and Adeline Anderson are not scoring big this third quarter. I mean, if I'm Coach Powell, that stat's got to be glaring to me as well, going, okay, we got to get our top players involved here.
Well, they're just too good. As individual players, they're too good to be scoreless. But so too is Hayden Goggles, who was scoreless in the Jackson game, and then she turned it on. So I would expect things to even out in the second half. But Worland's going to have all the momentum. So you first have to stop that, kind of take the emotion out of the game, and just feel like you're in control of the game and be more proactive as opposed to reactionary. Worland has hit just about everything on the floor. Judging by their stats on the season, they are not as good as they were in the first half, but they're feeling it right now. So it's all uphill for the Lander Lady Tigers to start the second half.
Yeah, nobody told Worland that you can't make those shots because they've been hitting them. Kara Lincoln coming off the bench with 5 points. I mentioned Georgia Chance hit that 3, and St. Clair has another basket. So, again, Lander's bench coming, helping support the team, and they're only down by 7. I mean, 16 points, again, not a lot of points for Lander, but
they're not getting blown out, and they're not going to get blown out in this game. But you want to avoid this same margin, this same lead as we enter the fourth quarter. So to close that gap, maybe take the lead if you can, and Lander more than capable of doing that, but enough has gone right for Worland, and they're putting out enough effort on the floor where Lander's just on their heels right now.
Right, and you had mentioned this. We noticed this in the halftime warm-ups of the JV game. Lander was having fun, and lighthearted, and you want to see your kids have some fun out there. But how much of it was maybe just taking this team a little too light? I mean, after having a stretch there of playing, 3 of the top teams in the state, and now you've got 2 teams with really major losing records. But
it's just human nature. But all that should be out the window now. You know what the score is on the scoreboard. Any thought that Lander had, if they had any, of overlooking this Worland team has gone out the window.
So we're starting the second half. Tigers will get the ball first. Friday has it right side to Goggles. Worland in the man-to-man defense. Friday in the right side. Going to drive back out to Goggles. She loses the ball. Fight for it, and got a jump ball, but I think it's still going to stay Worland basketball. So
empty first possession for the Lady Tigers, but one way that Lander generates offense is with their full-court defense, and you do see them in a full-court man-to-man right now.
Lance has it, and she's going to break the full court press. Hands it back off to Whaley Aguayo. Right side dribble by Simmons. In the lane, puts up the runner. No good. Aguayo gets the rebound. She puts back the runner and it goes in. And Worland with the quick basket to start this second half.
Yeah, Adeline Anderson shot that about 4 or 5 times in the first half and it wouldn't fall. It's just the kind of night it's been for Lander. They're falling for Worland, not so much for the Tigers.
Friday has it out front. Looking to make something happen, nothing there. Left side to McFadden, back out to Goggles. Now to Anderson. Fakes the shot, drives in, puts up the runner. It's no good. Contact, but no foul.
Because Anderson, with the smart decision, she was eyeing the three. That's not her game. She can hit it, but that's not where you want Adeline Anderson to be shooting when your team is down. So she did the smart thing, and she drove in. She had a lane, and it just wouldn't fall off the rim for her.
Lance has it. Ray has it now. Thought about shooting it in the corner to Simmons. Shot's no good. Good block out by McFadden. And that's the kind of thing maybe that get the Tigers some offense as Friday's shot is going to be blocked. Would you like to see that drive to the basket?
Yeah, again, Lander not doing anything wrong necessarily. It's just the basketball gods. And not on the Lady Tigers side right now, but momentum changes real quick in this game, and Lander's a team that can take full advantage of that.
It's like Aguayo, number 10, might have tweaked her ankle. The player that went out of the game in the first half for Worland, that was an ankle because she has that iced pretty good. So I guess that's good. It wasn't her knee. Friday thought about the three, puts up the short shot, no good. And Lander is not getting any second chance shots. So give credit to Worland, they are blocking out. Now, I don't understand that. The ball is tipped out of bounds. It's going to go back to Lander.
It must have gone out before. Is that Friday that went on the sideline to try to get it? It must have already gone out of bounds before Friday gathered the ball.
Fadden has it. Back to Goggles. Back to Anderson. Drives down the lane, puts up the runner, and it goes in. Adeline Anderson with her first basket of the night. It's 25-18, still 7-point lead. Just underway here in the second half, but 5:09 to go in the third. Ray has it out front. Nice fake, drives to the basket. The shot is blocked by Anderson. That is her second block of the night. It will stay Worland basketball underneath their own basket. Get it to Ray, puts up the 15-footer, no good. Rebound comes down to Anderson. Ahead to Goggles. Tigers going to set up their offense. Mulholland on the left side. Bounce pass inside is going to be stolen away by Aguayo. He's going to drive, puts up the runner. Shot no good, but there's Simmons with the rebound. And she's going to bring that ball back out front. One of the seniors here in this Worland team. Left side to Glams. Back to Aguayo. Worland just working the ball, and
3-second call, is that what that was?
Somebody was camping in the lane. Sometimes, Scott, they're not fully in the lane, but their foot's on the line. I think that's what happened there. So I think that was Ray.
And typically, the ref will give you 4 or 5 seconds, and they'll usually give you a warning first. They'll usually tell you, hey, I'm going to call that. You got to get out of the lane. Not sure if that had happened or not, but the first 3-second call we've seen in a couple of games, the Lady Tigers.
Cross-court pass to Friday, back to Mulholland. Almost fired the three now. Finally gets it out to Goggles. Drive, pass inside to Friday. She is going to be fouled. Nice drive and pass by Hayden Goggles.
Nice job by Friday. She just didn't quite have the handle on the pass. Had she would have scored easily and maybe been fouled, but she will get a chance for 2 regardless.
First free throw on the way is good, and Kiara Friday, definitely one of the Landers' better free throw shooters on the year. Second free throw on the way, drops in. So she's on the board as well. Both her and Anderson scoring the first 4 points of the second half, and Lander down by 5, trying to cut into this lead further. Wild drives right side and got a quick timeout by Worland. And so it's a full timeout. So Scott, why don't we send this back to the studio for a timeout, and we'll be back with more action after this message.
Perfect Power is a proud supporter of athletics and student athletes all across Fremont County. Perfect Power provides services for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. Darren Hubble, owner and master electrician, has over 30 years of electrical experience. Darren's trustworthy team of professionals can get the job done right. Perfect Power, serving Fremont County and surrounding areas. Stop into 1320 West Main Street, Lander, or give them a call at 307-332-7184.
Wyoming knows hard work. And at Fremont Chevrolet GMC, we know Wyoming. Here, things are just built to last. Over the last 8 decades, we've had one priority: to serve the people of Wyoming. We are dependable. We are your neighbor. We are Wyoming. Visit Fremont Chevrolet GMC in Riverton today.
Back after the Worland timeout with 3:35 to go in the third quarter. And Scott, one thing when you have the home team with senior night, Landers having to fight through that, kind of seeing maybe a little momentum change here as Worland not able to get on track here very, very much here in this third quarter.
I think what I've seen is an emphasis by Coach Powell on rebounding at halftime. He's also tweaked a couple of things like you saw on that last inbound on the YouTube stream. All 3 of the bigger Lander players with their back to the inbounder. That's something I haven't seen from Lander all year. So he has identified a couple of things that he thinks he can tweak to get Lander back in this game.
Simmons has it inside to Navarro. Pass is now going to be stolen by Goggles. Going to dribble drive, puts up the shot, no good. The ball is going to be tipped out of bounds back to Worland, but nice steal by Hayden Goggles.
Yeah, can't blame her for trying to force transition, force to the rim, and just not falling for Lander.
And the inbound pass to Simmons was tipped by Zoe Mulholland, and that goes back out of bounds to the Tigers. Just by the look on Worland's face, it just seems like they're just maybe now realizing, we're up in this game.
Sure.
We don't have any energy left. Goggles for 3, rims in and out, no good. Rebound comes down to Ray. Thought that was going to go down. But now the pass is going to be stolen by Hayden Goggles again. Pivots in the lane, puts up the runner, shot no good. Just can't quite get it to fall tonight. But still nice drives by Hayden Goggles. She's got to keep going to the basket because those shots will fall.
That spin move, it took her back to the rim, and so her back was facing the rim, so I think she lost track of where she was in relation to the basket on the drive there.
Ray with it in the corner. Now pass to Simmons, still in the right corner, being guarded by Friday. And they're going to call a foul on Kara Friday. She did reach around, had the ball, but kind of gave her that hug.
I enjoy that reaction there from Friday, who's a really in-your-face kind of defender, and she's given the ball carrier the business, and then when the whistle goes, the hands go up. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
She's a tenacious player on both ends.
Simmons with it out front to Ray. Inside pass to Navarro. Shot is good. Nice play by Worland to get that ball into Navarro. That is her first basket on the night. Worland back up by 7. 27-20, 1:54 to go here in the third. Pass inside goes out of bounds off Mulholland's hands back to Worland. And one thing I've noticed too is Tigers with a couple turnovers here in a row. That's hurting their momentum.
Yeah, I haven't seen, I don't think, as much guard-to-guard passing, working outside to try to open Anderson up inside. I think Anderson's found herself up high a lot more than she usually does. And Lander may want to think about working their guards to try to open up passing lanes for her inside.
So that last pass was actually tipped, the referee said. It stayed at Lander basketball, but now Lander gifts Worland back with another turnover.
So if you try an entry pass like that when the inside defenders are already set, it's a lot less likely to work than when you swing the ball around or move the ball around and then get your defender inside, who would be guarding Anderson, kind of off her footing a little bit. But to set there at the top of the key and wait a couple of beats and then try to feed it into Anderson, that's a much more difficult entry pass.
St. Clair back in for the Lady Tigers. Now the pass up ahead to Navarro, puts up the runner, and it's good.
I don't know how Navarro was able to collect that ball and get her feet and get a shot up. That was a very athletic play to finish that off for Worland.
Now they're going to call the foul on Yahara Aguayo. So that's a good sign, as Anderson's had to fight for the ball, and she has been hit with some contact, so maybe that'll open things up. Inbounds comes to Anderson. Back out to McFadden.
This is much more like it.
Goggles drives left side, contact, no call, back out to St. Clair.
Yeah, swing that ball around, open things up inside if you can.
Anderson goes for the runner, that shot is no good. Now the ball's tipped away, Goggles has it. Right side to McFadden. Telling her teammates, let's go, move that ball. Anderson's gonna drive again, nothing there. Friday has it. Drives in the lane, loses the ball. And I guess that was touched by Worland.
Fortunately, it looked to me like Friday lost it out of bounds, but the official had a better angle on it than we do up here. Maybe a break for the Tigers, but it's just a half a step off. Everything is for Lander, it seems like, Matt. Stopping at strange positions and anticipating things that happen the other way for Lander, just not quite on key.
Corner three-point shot, no good by St. Clair. Worland back in offense. 43 seconds here to go in the third quarter. Worland up 29-20. Aguayo going to drive in the lane, back out to Naeli Aguayo. Now to Ray at the free throw line. Back to Aguayo. Drives left side, and looks like Navarro was down camping in that low block.
Yeah, and if I had to guess, again, that's the second call. If I had to guess, she was probably warned about that a couple of times, and the official will let you know that. You got to be aware of that.
18 seconds to go here in the third. McFadden has it. Back to Goggles for three. Shot rims around, no good. Friday with the offensive rebound, puts up the runner. It's no good. And Friday just having a tough time with the shots. Turnaround shot is no good by Robertson.
She's going to have two free throws with 0.8 seconds left in the third quarter. And Worland already up by 9.
Yeah, they are running a fast break, and Lander is not getting back on defense, and they're hitting some easy baskets. First free throw is good.
Matt, all those Goggles drives and transitions that she's tried, Anderson trying to do anything she can from everywhere, and they just haven't been effective. They just haven't had the looks or the angles or the lucky bounces, and Worland has done a great job capitalizing.
So that's going to be the end of the third quarter, as they're going to call a foul, I think. Yeah. That's what I thought. Lander got that inbound pass. There was only 0.8 seconds, and she caught it, turned around, and got hammered.
So free throws with no time on the clock, Matt, and just a mental lapse there by the Worland defender. There's no reason to contact the shooter at all when she's trying to heave one up with 0.8 seconds from beyond half court.
Beyond half court. Second free throws, no good. Makes the first one. It's 31-21, so she can cut this lead to 9 if she can make this one. Third one is good. She makes 2 out of 3, so Lander's able to offset that foul at the other end. So at the end of 3, it's Worland 31, Lander 22. trying to find an answer. And we're going to send this back to commercial. We'll be back for the final period after this message.
County 10 is your Fremont County news leader. We're everywhere. On the web, mobile, social, and on your radio dial, with all the news you need to feel connected. From sports to board meetings and community features, we work hard to bring you all the latest updates you care about. Visit us today at county10.com. County 10, community connected.
Make your home improvement projects a breeze with Sutherland's, your home improvement experts. Always the right products at the right price. For every project, every day. You can shop and pay online at Sutherlands.com, and we'll get it ready for easy in-store pickup. With the tools and the know-how, you can count on Sutherlands for any job. With over 30,000 items in stock, make your first stop at Sutherland's Home Improvement in Casper and Riverton.
Starting the fourth quarter here, Matt Myers and Scott Fuller. Lander Tigers have the ball. Interior pass is stolen. Worland back on offense. Wraith puts up this 8-footer, no good. Mulholland with the rebound.
And a nice box out.
St. Clair back to Chance, out front now to Lincoln. Thought about the three. Back to St. Clair. Tigers working the offense. Looks like Worland, I can't tell if they're in a 2-3 or zone or man-to-man. And I guess they are still in the man-to-man. Lincoln drives right side to Anderson. Back to Lincoln, fires the three-point shot, and it bounces in. Brianna Lincoln, that is Kiara Lincoln with another three-point shot that she banks in. So
yeah, again, there was no rotation at all on that ball, but it was high enough where it had a good angle off the backboard.
31-25. Lander gets the steal up ahead to Georgia Chance. Corner to St. Clair for three. Shots no good. Gets her own rebound. Back out to Chance. Now to Mulholland. They're going to reset the offense. 31-25. Just underway here in the fourth. Anderson, she's not a bad three-point shooter, but
she can do it. That's not the game that it's
Zoe Mulholland with the three-pointer from the corner. And just like that, your usual suspects are not hitting, but you got bench contributions, and it is 31-28. Lander knocks this down to a three-point lead just like that.
And it was Lander that took the timeout, Coach Powell, right after the three and scoring on back-to-back possessions. So I think he was sensing this is a momentum-preserving timeout where we're doing something right now. Let's take a beat before we go back down the floor and transition, maybe throw it away, or Worland gets any of this momentum back. So kind of taking the affirming approach in that timeout where those are two great possessions. Let's take a breath, let's reset the defense, and let's keep doing that.
It's great to see Zoe Mulholland hit that three, too, because at games like this, you need contributions from everybody, and this is the kind of start that's going to put pressure back on Worland. It's like, okay, how are they going to respond?
Yep. And meanwhile, Lander's great in full court press. It's done a great job of disrupting teams, and now Worland's got to be thinking this lead that was once 10 points is now down to 3.
Glantz has it in the backcourt. Now to Guayo. Up ahead to Simmons. They break the press. Lots of pressure back there. Now they're going to set the offense again. Lander in the man-to-man. Ray in the corner. Back out to Simmons. 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, so lots of time to go in this one. I don't think Worland's trying to run the clock down. They're just working their offense, looking for a good shot. Now right corner pass to Robertson. Back to Simmons. Ball almost stolen there by Lincoln. And Lander's intensity just upping a little bit here on defense. Back to Ray.
This is a nice set offense from Worland. See if they can get points out of it, though.
And Aguayo, patient drives to the basket and scores. Waiting for that move inside. Tigers back on offense. Inside pass to Lincoln. Shot is good. Good job by Kiera Lincoln. Now the other end, Worland fires a 3. Shot no good. Laddle Anderson with the rebound.
This is where Lander can hurt you. When they get going in transition and they start hitting those shots, they can put up big runs.
33-30. 4:51 to go here in the fourth. Anderson back to Lincoln. 3-point shot on the way. It's good! Carol Lincoln with another 3-point shot, and the Lander Tigers are fired up as Carol Lincoln ties this game at 33-all, and she has been coming off the bench and hitting shots and helping the Tigers with this offense comeback.
Yeah, great job in the first half as well. She hit a big 3 in the first half. She was great on the rebounding side of things and just kind of taking over that role of the starting 5 ladies are having a tough time of it, so I'm going to step up and be a key bench contributor, and she certainly has been. She's gotten those big shots to fall. And Matt, when Lander senses that little bit of opening and that little bit of weakness, and they start hitting a couple of buckets, that's when this team is at its most dangerous. This was a 10-point game just a few game minutes ago, and now we're all tied up at 33 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think Worland's got to be asking themselves, what just happened? It's kind of like when you got a bunch of snow on your roof and all of a sudden it all just slides off and hits you. It's like, what just happened? They got to be a little bit in shock, and it's good. It puts the pressure back on them. And Lander with the full court press again. Glantz has it, looking to break this pressure. Gets across half court. Now Guayo has it. Left side pass, hands it to Simmons. We're all tied up here in the fourth quarter. Ray looking inside. Back to Guayo. Ball tipped away and regained by Guayo. Drives baseline. Keeps driving baseline. Passes it now to Ray. Interior pass. Ball's on the floor, and there's Kiera Lincoln with the steal. Back to St. Clair. Drives in the middle. It loses the ball, and we've got a travel.
That's an interesting call. You could have had a foul on Anderson. You could have had even a jump ball, but I'm surprised that she would have had the ball for long enough to be able to take more than 2 steps.
Yeah, that's the least call I expected, but it's definitely the one we want. St. Clair has it out to Anderson at the top of the key. You can see Lincoln is she wants that ball. She's definitely fired up. Mulholland has it now at the top of the key. Back to Chance on the right side. Drives in the lane. Pivots. Puts up the shot. It's good! Georgia Chance gives the Tigers their first lead of this game. Guayo's going to break the pressure. Now Navarro drives, puts up the runner. The shot is blocked by Anderson. She's going to bring the ball up the court. Drives in, puts up the runner, and the shot is no good, but she is fouled. She landed hard on the floor.
I should mention this in previous games about Lander's very talented, very tall sophomore, Adeline Anderson, but how she is able to lead the transition if the opportunity presents itself, and you saw it there. She was just as fast as any white jersey on the floor. She got down there in time to get a good angle and drew some contact.
Those free throws no good. Reminds me of Shaquille O'Neal, NBA game a few years back, bringing the fast break.
I don't know if I like the Shaq analogy while she's at the free throw line, but hopefully it goes in.
Second one does. Yeah, I do apologize for that. Lander up 36-33. They're starting to see Lander play the way we know they can. And they're definitely putting the pressure on Worland as Aguayo drives baseline, puts up another shot, blocked by Anderson. That is her fourth block of the night. Lincoln with it out front, being guarded by Aguayo. Back to Anderson. 2:55 to go here in the fourth. Anderson drives back out to St. Clair for 3. Oh, thought it's good. Rebound is fought for. And I think we're going to have a foul on Anderson.
That's only her second, I want to say.
And all this comeback done with Hayden Goggles on the bench.
Yeah.
So if you're Lander, you got to be encouraged because she got a nice breather there.
Well, and here comes Goggles, and give Lincoln a lot of credit for picking up a lot of the point guard duties and ball handling duties in Goggles' absence while she got a break. But Hayden Goggles back into the game now for Lander.
Ball still in the backcourt. Now gets up ahead to Aguayo. Right side of Navarro in the corner to Glanz. Fires three-point shot, no good. The rebound comes down to Anderson. That was a nice save because I think that would have been off of her. Pass up ahead to Zoe Mulholland is tipped out of bounds. How does that go back to Worland?
I'm going to say it was off of Zoe, I guess.
Interesting call there. So Worland gets it inbounds. 2:23 to go here. Full court press still on. Navarro has it, breaks the pressure. Anderson back on defense. Three-point shot, no good by Aguayo, and the ball's going to go out of bounds. Stays with Worland. And that's one of those, Scott, it comes off the rim so fast that it's hard to get a good handle on it.
What you're thinking about so much, you're thinking about your set defense and where your defensive assignment is, and now you see a shot go up and aren't always ready for that rebound to come shooting off the rim.
Another three-point shot by Aguayo. This one is good by Yahara Aguayo. We're all tied up. 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. What has been a very entertaining game here in this fourth quarter. Anderson drives, puts up the runner. Wow, they're going to call the foul on Aguayo. I thought that was going to be a charge on Anderson.
I did too. And I think Lander may have gotten away with one there where Anderson was driving in. Aguayo did a great job of setting. And I thought she was planted. I think that probably is not the right call, but that's to Lander's benefit, sends Anderson to the free throw line.
Free throw on the way, bounces around, no good. And these are very critical free throws here.
All tied up at 36 with 1:51 left to go. Now you're used to Anderson hitting more frequently than she has in this fourth quarter from the free throw line.
Second shot on the way is good. Lander back up by one. 37-36. Tigers with that full court press. Glanz is going to break the pressure. Get it back to Aguayo. Now in the corner to Simmons. Puts up the runner. Shot is good. And Worland retakes the lead. 38-37 with 1:31 to go here in the fourth. Anderson in the corner. Shot is no good. Glanz gets the rebound. And Worland's going to slow it down here. Coach calling for pressure. Simmons has it out front. Now Glanz has it. Dribble drive right side. Ball's tipped, but Weil gets it back. And now we have a foul by Goggles. And that is a important foul because Lander, that's only their second foul. They have to get 3 more fouls before Worland even shoots a
Yeah, they've got those
shots
to give. Goggles is going to be aggressive when she senses she might be able to snag a steal anyway, but because Lander only has 2 now, you can't afford to be pretty aggressive and force a steal without risking free throws.
Inbounds pass, almost stolen by Chance. Glanz gets it back for Worland. And Aguayo's sisters going to hold that ball out front. Now she's going to drive right side, nothing there. Brings that ball out front, almost a double dribble. 51 seconds to go. Back to Aguayo in the corner to Simmons, and they're going to call an intentional foul. That's too bad.
So that will mean free throws for Worland. Yeah, so going off of what we just mentioned, how you have fouls to give, you can afford to be aggressive to maybe get a bounce or maybe get a steal and create some transition. But if you're too aggressive, that is the risk that you run.
Exactly.
Also comes with a possession after the free throws.
So the first free throw rims in and drops in as Yahara Aguayo. That ball went in and out, back in and out, and finally dropped down.
Every part of the rim.
Second free throw on the way is no good. Worland up by 2 here. Lander they have 3 team fouls. 46 seconds to go. Worland's up 39-37. They will inbounds it on the near side.
Here goes Bland going the other way. Now the ball's going to come in for Naeli in the back.
And we have another quick foul by McFadden. That's Lander's 4th foul. Now we have only a second or two went off the clock. 45 seconds left here.
I don't know that you have to foul yet. That may be what Lander's looking to do, but you're only down by 2, and there's plenty of time left for stuff like that to happen.
And there you go. The inbounds pass knocked out of bounds, so Lander will get the ball back. Down by 2. Coach telling the Tigers to run your offense. Just curious to see if he puts Kara Friday or Lincoln back in the game. They've been some of his scores on this year. Hayden Goggles has it out front. Back to McFadden on the left side. Right side to Mulholland. Inside Anderson. Turnaround shot is good, and we're all tied up again.
That's the entry that the Lady Tigers have been looking for all day to Anderson. She found herself kind of one-on-one on that block, and she established position. Nice bounce pass inside, and when Adeline Anderson has a clean entry pass and she's already got position, she's difficult to stop. You talk, Matt, about as only a sophomore, how much more tools she's added to her toolbox down low. She can do the drop step as she did just on that last play. She can turn around and fade away. And again, exponentially growing as a player this year, and she's only a sophomore.
Yeah, and like you said, they finally got that interior pass to her, and she's able to turn around and make that basket. And we're at a full timeout. I didn't see before the timeout how many seconds are left.
It was interesting watching these timeouts because as Worland was up by about 10, they would take a full timeout and use about 30 seconds of it. And now Lander just did the same thing. Lander's already back on the floor, and Worland is using every second of this timeout to strategize. So the momentum has shifted, but with 28.8 on the clock, it's all tied up, and it will be Worland basketball.
It'll be interesting to see, Scott, if the Tigers can get another turnover here. I'm guessing if they do, they're going to call timeout, but Glantz has it, looking to inbounds it. Oh, the ball inbounds passes almost stolen by Goggles. It'll stay Worland basketball. Again, in the backcourt. Glantz will take it out of bounds with Lander in the full court. Man-to-man press. Ray has it in the back.
One foul to give for the Tigers.
Navarro's going to drive the ball up the court. And we got a quick timeout by Worland. Full timeout with 19 seconds to go. We're all tied up in this one. Well, Scott, it's been a fun game. You know, Lander's fought back in this and got the momentum turned around, and then Worland's kind of held their own in the last few seconds. But, you know, if you're Worland, you play. I'm sure you're going to play for the shot that you want. Lander's got to be careful now not to foul, put Worland in the double bonus.
Yep. There's enough time left where I think both sides have to think about the second possession. There's not, I would imagine you're going to see Worland draw up a press break here, first of all, and what they want to do on the inbounds. Probably throw it into the backcourt, but I'm not sure that you play for one. Worland may try. The danger in that and holding it for the remainder of the time on the clock is if you milk some of your own time and then you lose possession of the ball, Lander can win the game on a transition layup. So I don't know that. This is why they coach. You got 19 seconds left. You can try for a quick score, or you can try to milk the clock. We'll see which inbounding under the basket Worland decides to do.
19 seconds to go, all tied up, 39 all. Worland, Aguayo has it, looking inbounds it. Barely gets it in and avoids the 5-second call. And we have a foul.
Yeah, they are going to get the 5th on Lander. I don't think that's an intentional foul at all.
No, I
think that was some incidental contacts there, and that changes the dynamic of everything. Now you have to think about the 2 free throws. You have to make sure that you rebound the second if it's a miss. And with 15.7 left, Now down by 1 after the first free throw. Lander has to decide, do they want to streak down the floor and try for something, or do they want to hold for the last shot?
Lander brings in their shooters, St. Clair, Lincoln, and Friday as a Aguayo back up there for the second free throw. Second free throw on the way, rims out, no good. Rebound comes down to Lincoln. Up ahead to Goggles, 10 seconds. Ball's tipped away. Spot for it. Glantz has it. Worland's going to win this. 2 seconds, 1. And that's going to be the game as Worland holds on here in a thriller, 40-39. As Lander turned the ball over there at the very end. Disappointing loss for the Lady Tigers for sure.
Well, Lander fought back, and we knew they would. They're too good a team to lose to, frankly, anybody by 10 or 15. So we knew Lander was going to be back in this game. It just didn't happen quickly enough. It didn't happen until the fourth quarter. Lander didn't find sort of that Lander Lady Tiger game that we're used to seeing until way too late in the game. And by that time, Worland could sense it here on senior night in front of a big crowd. And they give Worland a lot of credit. They're an underachieving team on the year, but they sensed an opportunity here at home against the Lady Tigers, and they got it done. So you do feel good for the home seniors here. And this is with now 2 games left for the Lady Tigers before regionals. We know how good they are, Matt. We've seen them play about twice as good as they did against Worland here tonight. But the challenge, I think, for Coach Powell is how do you turn this into something where you don't have that slow start against good teams at regionals?
Right, and I think that's one of the biggest keys is you cannot start slow. And like you mentioned earlier, you may end up playing this same Worland team at regionals.
And wouldn't that be something now? Wouldn't that be an interesting matchup after Worland pulls off the upset just a couple of weeks before?
Indeed. It's interesting, too, in that first half, Lander was outscored 11-5 in the first quarter, then they were outscored. I guess they were outscored in the first quarter, and then Lander outscored Worland in the second quarter. But that fourth quarter, Lander outscored Worland 17-9, but it just wasn't enough. They kind of dug that hole. And I think this, honestly, this is going to sting a little bit, but it can be just what they need.
Sure.
Coach Stu Mullins has mentioned this a lot of times. He said sometimes you get a false security when you can beat certain teams, and this is the kind of game that can kind of go, okay, we can't take teams for granted. We've got to come out and we've got to play our game and not mess around in that first half.
Well, I think that's where coaches have to know their teams on an individual and then a collective kind of relationship level. I do believe both Lander boys and girls teams have that kind of awareness and the right persona to be able to have a good feeling for their team, because the balance is you're not going to win anything if you're not confident. But what happens when you get smacked in the mouth a couple of times? Does the confidence entirely evaporate into panic, or do you fall back on that confidence in a way where we know we can do this, we just keep doing the systems that we run offensively and defensively, and we make a couple of adjustments here and there? So I think both Lander boys and girls have a healthy kind of a confidence in that way. It just took too long in that first game, in that girls' game, for the Lady Tigers to get themselves going, to do what they normally do. And there can be all kinds of reasons for that. And it's probably a combination of all of the above. But yeah, the challenge for Coach Powell, with just 2 regular season games left, they're both home games before regionals in Thermopolis, is going to be to find a way to make sure that, you lost the game, 1-point game on the road to a team that's only won a handful of games this year. How do you turn this into a productive loss and a good thing for the remaining games that you have this year?
Indeed. So, real quick, let's give you a few stats. Worland was, in that second half, led by Yahara Aguayo. She had 5 points, hit a couple key free throws there in the fourth quarter, and she ended up with 7. Naeli Aguayo, I'm guessing that's her sister, ended up with 9 points. Also Madeline Glantz, all 9 of her points were in the first half, so she was shut down in the second half. Kathy Navarro with 4 points, Madeline Robertson with 2. The Tigers, on the other hand, were led in, from my perspective, Carol Lincoln comes off the bench. She keeps Lander in this game and brought them back. She ends up with 13 points. Adeline Anderson scored 6 points that second half, had 9 rebounds. Kara Friday, a little off for her tonight, just couldn't quite get it gone. Not too concerned there because we've said this before. She's got the skill set. She'll be back, no doubt. But she still had 5 rebounds. And again, that shows that tenacity, that fight that she has every game. Also, Zoe Mulholland, 4 points, a couple key rebounds there to help the Tigers get the ball back. And Sandra St. Clair came in, hit a couple free throws in the second half. Georgia Chance ends up with 5. So that's the stats for now. And I think we probably should go maybe take a timeout here and on the Bailey's Tire and Auto post-game show, and come back after a few timeouts and then name our player of the game.
Sounds good.
Tires, tires, and more tires. Bailey Tire and Auto Service offers a huge selection, great prices, and fantastic service.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, this is Haley. With over 13,000 tires to choose, Bailey has tires for your ATV, farm implement, car, truck, trailer, semi, lawnmower, wheelbarrow, you name it. If it has a tire, Bailey Tire and Auto Service can fix it or replace it. Bailey Tire and Auto Service is your one-stop complete tire and service shop. Just remember, with Bailey's, there's no tricks, just tires.
Central Bank and Trust is a local bank that is focused on technology and convenience. We have a simpler online mortgage application process. You can use your computer or mobile device to upload required documents and sign them online. We have a variety of personal and business banking services. Stop in or visit centralbanktrust.com. We live here. We work here.
Tires, tires, and more tires. Bailey Tire and Auto Service offers a huge selection, great prices, and fantastic service.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, this is Haley. With over 13,000 tires to choose, Bailey has tires for your ATV, farm implement, car, truck, trailer, semi, lawnmower, wheelbarrow, you name it. If it has a tire, Bailey Tire and Auto Service can fix it or replace it. Bailey Tire and Auto Service is your one-stop complete tire and service shop. Just remember, with Bailey's, there's no tricks, just tires.
Central Bank and Trust is a local bank that is focused on technology and convenience. We have a simpler online mortgage application process. You can use your computer or mobile device to upload required documents and sign them online. We have a variety of personal and business banking services. Stop in or visit centralbanktrust.com. We live here. We work here.
Welcome back to Worland High School. You're watching Lander Valley Tiger boys and girls basketball here on county10.com, and we welcome our radio audience listening back in Fremont County on 1330 KOVE. Lander girls fall by 1 point as Worland pulls the upset in the girls game here on senior night. Boys game in front of us portends to be a pretty good matchup as well. We're going to get that going in about 9 minutes, and we will select still to come our Justice Jacobs State Farm Player of the Game from the girls game gone by. Hope to talk to Coach Powell of the Lander girls in halftime of the boys game as well. So a lot still to come here from Worland, Wyoming. We want to thank a couple of sponsors here. We want to thank Baldwin Creek Rental Center in Lander. They have everything covered from equipment rental to party rental. Stop by 675 Baldwin Creek Road to see how they can help. Good luck to all athletes from Baldwin Creek Rental Center. Also, Fremont Chevy GMC in Riverton supporting our local athletes. Your hard work and dedication does not go unnoticed. Fremont Chevy GMC here every step of the way. They are located at 1401 North Federal in Riverton. Once again, the Lander ladies fall here in Worland by a single point. Heartbreaking game in which it took Lander just a little bit too long to get their typical game going. They did come back, erasing a 10-point deficit in the fourth quarter to, at one point, take the lead. But give some credit to Worland for fighting back here on their senior night. Very emotional evening, as well as a packed gym for senior night, and they got it done against Lander. Going to be interesting to see if not just the girls, but maybe the boys have a rematch in a couple of weeks in Thermopolis as regional play gets underway. So Lander ladies fall by 1. The boys are coming up in the second end of our doubleheader from Worland, Wyoming on county10.com and 1330 KOVE. We'll be back after one more timeout.
Looking for an upgrade to your vehicle? Wyoming 4x4 is the place to go for all your upgrade needs. From lift kits to bumpers, grill guards to bed liners, we've got everything you need to take your ride to the next level. We use top brands for our bumpers like Fab 4s, Ranch Hand, and Road and more. So get your vehicle ready and stop at Wyoming 4x4 or give Dan a call at 307-857-3175.
Wyoming Catholic College is a unique institution that offers an immersion in the Western tradition, the beauty and challenges of the wilderness, and the treasures of the Catholic spiritual heritage. Our mission is to provide a unique educational experience that nurtures the body, mind, and spirit. We are proud of our alumni success stories and the learning opportunities we offer through our academic outreach programs. Come and explore our campus in Lander, Wyoming.
Welcome back to Worland, Wyoming for the Justice Jacobs Player of the Game selection, which is coming up here in just a moment as the Lander Lady Tigers upset by Worland here on senior night by a single point. And the boys game is coming our way here, Matt Myers, shortly as we begin our Porter's Tailgate Show momentarily. Between the two games, we do have to select the Justice Jacobs Player of the Game from the Lander girls. I don't think that you and I have disagreed on the Player of the Game so far. I don't think we're going to today, but where do you want to go for our Player of the Game?
I think Kara Lincoln, she came off the bench and, again, sparked the Lady Tigers, kind of like Kiara Friday did in Jackson on Tuesday night. She did everything she could. It just, as a team, they just came up a little short tonight. And but she definitely brought them back, kept them in the game. It was just, you got to give Worland credit, but, Lander had their chances and a few breaks here or there and might have gone a different way. But, yeah, I definitely would say Kara Lincoln on this game.
I'm with you. Coming off the bench, wire to wire, she probably had the most complete game on a night where your Anderson doesn't score in the first half at all. Kira Friday has a cold first half. She has no points on the board, so you have to have somebody that keeps you in the game. And I agree, that was Kira Lincoln, and she may be the reason, certainly one of the reasons why Lander was able to erase the 10-point deficit, come back and take the lead at one point in the fourth quarter, and that's what you're looking for. So Lander's very deep that way. The girls, they've got, whether it's in the starting five or kids off the bench, they can come in and just right the ship a little bit while everybody is getting resettled, and they have enough firepower to climb back in the game eventually. That's what happened here in Worland, but unfortunately time ran out on the Lady Tigers.
Yeah, that was, that's a tough loss, but those are the games you want to lose now, not at regionals. Yep. And down the road. And Lander had beat the same team earlier in the season down at the Rollins tournament, and I think they beat him by like 12 if I'm not mistaken. But again, you come on the road, you're playing Worland in Worland. They've got senior night, and you could see that second half as Lander was making their run. Worland started, I think they looked a little tired. They looked a little worried and concerned. And, Lander fought back, get the 3-point lead, and then, give the Worland player, Aguayo, credit, hits that 3-point shot in the corner to tie it up. And then had she missed that shot, could have definitely went the other way. But that just swung, in a game that close, it swung momentum just like that.
Yep, I think so too. I think it's a great point you make about the Lander ladies having played Worland early enough in the season where, coaches are still trying to figure out names and things like that in a preseason tournament sort of almost. And what was interesting is Kira Friday, when we talked to her last week after she won Player of the Game, you had asked her, what do you know about this Worland team? And the one thing that she said not much, but she said, I know they're not the same team that they were when we played them before. And oftentimes, especially with school, all the commitments kids have, you're not looking ahead a couple of games. So it stood out to me that she was already aware that Worland was not to be overlooked. And that's the way it turned out tonight. So you almost hope that Lander and Worland get together again in regionals in Thermopolis, because that would be a fascinating rematch for the Tigers.
Yeah, I think Lander would want to play them again. I don't think they're going to feel happy about this. It's going to leave a bad taste in their mouth. And again, that's the kind of thing, if you're going to come out of a loss, that's what you want. You don't want to be happy about how that ended. And I was just talking to some friends of mine from Worland, and they were just saying how, man, Lander, what a run they made there in the fourth quarter, and they couldn't believe the game was so close. They just got here for the fourth quarter, and I said, well, that's because that's how Lander's capable of playing. They just didn't do it the first half, and again, got off to a slow start.
I was surprised, frankly, Matt, that this team got off to such a slow start 2 games in a row and sort of playing down to their competition. I don't want to take anything away from Worland. They came out, they won the basketball game, but Lander was definitely the favorite coming in, and we saw it in Jackson against a winless Bronx team on the girls' side last week, and the Lander ladies had the same problem. I think it's a fair question for Coach Powell right now. We're getting to the games where we got to ensure that you're starting strong and finishing the first half of games like they did against Lovell and like they did against Powell so effectively. And how do you get back to that? Where's that secret sauce?
I think one of the secret sauces was what happened there in that fourth when they got the pass into Adeline Anderson and on the low post. Because when she gets the ball on there, it's pretty usually a set thing she's going to make that or get fouled. They just weren't able to do that a lot tonight. They got her the ball, at the top of the free throw line, but as far as in that low block, she didn't get many looks down there. And again, that can be the defense and adjusting to her. I know in some of these other games recently, they've double and triple teamed her down in the low post, and other players have had to step up. But
delay before the boys' game, by the way, is senior night festivities. As you're seeing first the girls players and soon the boys for Worland being honored. So we're going to have some time for an additional analysis on the girls' game, which I think we've done that. But let's shift gears to the boys. The Lander boys team is coming off a really difficult Jackson team. It's the only team Lander has played this year that I've seen that you just know this is a better team. You're just not really going to be in the game. Lander did their best to keep it close, but what are they looking for in response after a performance like that against a good effort all the way through? It was just a really, really good team that they saw in Jackson. So what are you looking for Lander here on the boys' side?
Well, I think Lander's got to come out and play their game. That Jackson game, you take away the second quarter again, where they were outscored in a large number in that second quarter, and they outscored Jackson in the fourth quarter. I think they were outscored in the third quarter by 1 point. They really were in that game, a lot of it, until that second quarter when Jackson pulled away. They played number 1 Powell in 3A. They played them really close. So, I'm not too concerned about Lander tonight. I think they've got to just play their game that they're capable of playing, and I think they'll be okay. Worland comes into this with a 9-11 overall record, 2-5 in conference. They've lost their last one, and I think they played Thermopolis. They lost by 2 points to Thermopolis, so that stung a little bit for them, and I'm sure they want to come in here and win tonight's game. Lander has lost 4 of 5 games, so they've had some tough competition. They just haven't been able to pull some of those games out, but overall they're 5-14 in conference. They're 3-3. So this is probably one of the more evenly matched games I think that Lander has faced this year, and I think it's going to come down to who executes the best, and even comes down to turnovers. Who's going to have the fewest turnovers? We saw that in the girls' game where both teams were turning it over from time to time, but I think it's going to be who executes their offense the best, rebounds, defense, and those turnovers. Those are the basics. But, like against Jackson, it's like, well, what do you do to counter that height? And like I said, height is not fair because, you can't coach against height. It's just there. But games like this, I think it's going to be a close game. And with this rivalry the way it's been over the years, it's going to come down to execution.
Yeah, and that Jackson that Jackson loss, it wasn't just height, and I think Jackson had height on every of Lander's starting five. I think all five of their guys were just as tall, if not taller, than Lander, but the speed, the transition game that Jackson was able to combine with that height was just really difficult to overcome. You mentioned the losing streak on the boys' side, having lost 4 of their last 5. 2 of those are 1-point losses. 2 of those are really close games that Lander competed in all the way down to the wire and just came out on the wrong side of. And it's how you respond to adversity. So you wonder, you've had 2 1-point losses in the last 3-4 games. You've had a Jackson team that you just had to play going up to 4A to play, and saw what a really good put-together team looks like at this point in the season. So you have that adversity in front of you, and how can Lander on the boys' side take that adversity and bring it into Worland's gym and spoil the senior night?
Yeah, and that's going to be the challenge. If you look at it on paper, this is what's interesting, is that Worland averages 51 points a game. Lander averages 49. You're only talking 2-point difference there. Shooting-wise, there's only 4 points difference in their shooting percentage. Free throws, Lander is only shooting 47% from the line this year, and Worland shooting 57%. Rebounding, neither team is, tops in 3A and rebounding. They're both in the bottom 10. And again, Worland's 26 rebounds a game, Lander 24. Pretty even there again. And as far as team defense goes, Worland's given up 52 points a game, and Lander's given up 57. It reminds me of when we played Mountain View. Coach Mullins had said, it's like our twin. They play the same way we do, and Worland, I've not seen them play this year. It looks like they have a little height, watching some of their players out here for senior night. But on paper, they look pretty evenly matched so far.
Well, and you have the inverse of the girls' game, where Lander's coming in with the streak, the winning streak, and a much better record, and Worland found a way to get it done. Lander's on the other end of that. On the boys' side, they're coming in with a handful of wins on the season, but playing some pretty good basketball. And Worland at 500 or so has not blown anybody away in terms of their record, but they've got to be confident. They have a better record. They're coming in here on senior night. They don't want to lose at home, certainly don't want to lose at this point in the season. So it's sort of an inverse of the girls' game that the Lander boys are going to try to overcome.
Indeed. Worland is led by Owen Page. He's a senior. He's averaging 14.6 points a game. Lander doesn't have anybody in the top 10 on this side of the state. As far as rebounding goes, Worland's led by Chase Harris, third in the conference with 8 rebounds a game, and Owen Page the sixth. Bennett Washburn for Lander has 5.8 rebounds a game. So nothing again standing out as far as which team on paper is better than the other one. They're just so evenly matched that it should be a good game to watch for sure.
So in games like that, who is the unexpected standout? Who's going to step up and maybe coming off the bench, or that 4th or 5th starter who typically averages 4, 5, 6 points a night? Who's going to step up for 15 or 17? And both teams, I'm sure, have the capability of doing that. We've definitely seen that from Lander. So we're obviously going to have to wait for the start of the game to see how that plays out. But just like we said before the girls' game, I think pretty important for the Lander boys to come out strong and try to establish, if they can, some kind of lead and just force Worland to react to them.
Yeah, Lander has kind of a balanced attack on offense. They're led by Bennett Washburn with 10 points a game. Talon Whelan, he can light it up. He's averaging 9.6 points a game, and Parker Sixby is 9.2. Peyton Bell, he's also been lighting it up a few of these games recently. He's got his average up to 5.8. And so they've got 3 or 4 players there who are pretty evenly matched as far as scoring. But like you said, who's it going to be that's going to stand up and stand out? And we'll find out here in not too much longer. It looks like they're still...
we're doing the senior cheerleaders now here for Worland High School's senior night. So we've recognized the girls basketball players. The boys basketball players have been honored now. The couple of Worland High School senior cheerleaders. always a fun night. Lander's going to wait until the very last game of the year, I think, for their senior night. Not sure if they're planning that Thursday or Friday, but both of their remaining games are home games. Those are going to be late next week. So this is the last regular season road game for the Lander boys and girls. And I guess the way both of these teams have been playing, the Lander girls lost here in Worland side. The way that they're trending right now, I suppose it could be seen as a good thing that you're going to be able to close out the regular season in your home gym.
Indeed, and after that senior night in Lander, we'll definitely get the seniors up and talk with them on the radio after their game, and hopefully they have a couple wins there. They're not going to be necessarily gimmies, freebies either. They're going to be playing Thermopolis and Lyman, and they lost to Lyman in Lyman. I think they're winnable games, but again, we keep going back to this, but they've got to start better and not let the other team get out to that big lead and that momentum. And I think it helps, again, to be at home and to have the home crowd there to help cheer them on.
I don't think you want the last games before the playoffs to be against lesser teams. I think you want some competition as sort of extended bracket rounds of the playoffs to kind of tool you up for the postseason. When you're playing, as you've pointed out, Matt, when you're playing to extend your season, you go to regionals and you have to win. But every year there's that surprise. There's some team that goes on some crazy run in regionals and finds their way to a state. And I've said it before, but I think both Lander boys and girls, both the teams are kind of under the radar in the state of Wyoming. And it might be that one or possibly even both of those Lander teams are the surprise at regionals this year, but obviously a lot of work to do between now and then.
Yeah, they are capable of it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And that's what makes it interesting and encouraging, is that I think both teams can make it to state. They're going to have to play some of their better basketball, which, if you're going to advance in regionals to state, you're going to have to anyways. But, that's still 2 weeks away. But it's coming down to that part of the season where the games matter more so probably than ever. And it'll be fun to see how it all turns out.
That's what's fun, is not every school has two teams where they got to play well. They got to play the best they can, but they can both get there. They can realistically perform well in regionals because we've seen them defeat teams that are going to end up advancing on to state. But the key is that consistency. It's not can you do it for a quarter against a really good team. It's can you do it against everybody for 4 quarters. And I think both teams, and now more so the girls, after this performance tonight, I think it's a little more of a concern of the consistency of can you put together the at least good halves and close out games. And we know both these Lander teams could do it, but for the second game in a row, the girls struggled with their first half, and the boys have been streaky at times too. So it's easy to say these teams have to be more consistent. That's really hard to achieve with all the variables that go into different nights and different locations.
Indeed. Well, we got the senior night over for Worland, and so we've got about 3 minutes to go here. Why don't we just take a quick timeout and come back. We'll give you some starting lineups to get ready for this boys basketball game.
Redden, Kane & Associates. CPAs is your go-to source for tax, financial, and business solutions. Our experienced professionals are trusted and know the numbers. We're dedicated to providing personalized attention to each of our clients. Whether you're an individual or a business, we're here to help with all your accounting needs. Let us do the math for you. Stop in or visit rivertoncpa.com to learn more.
Introducing WyoGlass, your local glass experts. From windows to showers, we got you covered. We're proud to be a part of the Lander community and a local sports sponsor. We're dedicated to serving all of Fremont County, so you can trust us with your residential and commercial windows and doors, auto glass, shower doors, and garage doors. For quality service and local support, choose WyoGlass. Visit us at wyoglassoflander.com or on Main Street in Lander today.
Matt Myers back with Scott Fuller and Lander Tiger basketball. Just a minute and a half to go here before we start this boys basketball game. Here at Worland, like we've said, this should be a good game. On paper, they match up pretty evenly. Scott, we've been, the outcome hasn't always been what we've wanted, but we've been pretty well entertained over the last couple of weeks with some of these games.
A lot of fun games. A lot of good teams, both on Lander's side and the teams that they're playing.
Yep. Carol Lincoln walk in front of us, hoping to get our attention. We're going to just encourage her and give her a thumbs up. Tough loss, but again, like we said, those are the kind of games you can learn from and move on. Lander in this game should have as starters Peyton Bell, number 1, Parker Sixby, number 2, number 4, Taylor Whelan, number 15, Bennett Washburn, and number 23, Noah St. Clair. That can change from time to time, but that is the lineup we've been given. And so we'll see if Lander stays with that. Worland, on the other hand, and it'll be interesting to see how they open up here with their stars. It looks like it's going to be, and get we're going to have the lights out here. It's like Tyshawn Swalstead, number 10, number 13, Owen Page, number 34, Chase Harris, number 12, Tyler Kidgel, and number 2, which I do not have number 2 on the roster for Worland. I'm going to have to pull him up here real quick. And that is Ryan Dennis for Worland, who will be starting. So you never know, some of these games, you get the starters and you think you know, but every now and then it doesn't go that way. Again, senior night here in Worland, and we'll see how, if height is an issue for the Tigers tonight going against this Worland team. I know we said in the pregame there was a little bit of height on Worland's team, so we'll see how that pans out.
There was height on the girls' team more than I was expecting too, but if there is height on this Worland boys team, if that becomes an issue, I think the first person you look to is Bennett Washburn to try to counter that and establish something down low. We've seen him be able to do that.
Well, they're giving the Worland starting lineup here. Number 10, Tyshawn Swalstead. He's probably 5'4". Let's see if they have their, they do have their height here, so we'll give that to you as well. 5'7" senior. Number 12 is Tyler Kidgel. He's a 5'10" senior. Number 13, Owen Page, 5'11" senior. And number 34, Chase Harris, he's a 6'4" senior. So that's where their height is right there.
If 34 is 5'11", then I'm 7 feet tall. He looks...
No, he's 6'4".
Yeah. Oh, 6'4". Okay. Yeah. I thought I heard you say 5'11". I've heard of coaches and teams gymming with the rosters a little bit, height and weight, just to make things a little bit different than reality, but he is definitely not 5'11". You'll see him take the jump here to start this game.
Yeah, he's definitely taller than Bennett Washburn. Bennett Washburn will jump for the Tigers, going left to right. This tip's going to be it is stolen by Lander. Now they're going to blow this whistle.
Like in hockey, they're going to re-jump this or assign possession, I think. The ref on the backside didn't like what he saw, so we're going to award possession to Worland.
I think what happened there was they threw the ball up, and before it could be tipped, Peyton Bell anticipated.
He did. He was moving.
And he got that, so it's a violation on the jump. I don't know the official call, but it's a jump ball violation. So Worland will start with the basketball. Looks like Lander is in the 2-3 zone. Shot on the corner is going to be shot by Dennis, and he is fouled. Looked like a blocked shot.
A couple of Tigers went up, so we'll see who they give it to.
Okay, that's a Bennett Washburn. Again, we don't have the angle up here, but I thought he got all ball. So
Washburn, who we need for height, with a foul 15 seconds into the game.
Ryan Dennis hits the first free throw. And the way this crowd's reacting, I'm just wondering if he doesn't get a chance to play a lot. He hits the second free throw.
Either that or it's going to be a loud night.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be that too. Peyton Bell breaks the pressure outside of Worland, fires a three-point shot. It's good. Taylor Worland, just what the doctor ordered, hits the three for Lander.
Exactly what you want. We've seen Lander in games open things up with 3-4 empty possessions, takes them all to score. Not tonight. Worland three-pointer on the first possession for Lander.
So the ball goes back to the Lander Tigers. Bell in the backcourt, brings it across right side to Worland. Into Washburn. Interior pass is stolen by Harris. Up ahead to Swalstead, puts up the shot. He's no call. Looked like he was fouled. Lander back on offense. Sixby up ahead to Peyton Bell. Turnaround to St. Clair. Shot no good. And Harris comes down with it for Worland. Interior pass to Harris. Shot is good.
Thought he was tied up, but Lander did not get the whistle.
The Lander back on offense. And just like that, Bennett Washburn with the basket.
Both teams are moving in transition early tonight.
5-4, Lander up early in this one. Just 6:31 to go here in the first quarter. Harris has it inside. Turnaround shot is good. Nice shot there by Chase Harris. Nice little pivot move.
You're going to see, excuse me, you're going to see after a Worland timeout early on that Harris is going to be that force that you're going to have to focus on stopping down low. He's got the 6'4" height, and he's made it clear already that the senior has a lot of moves down low.
Yes, indeed. So, 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Let's go back over some of our sponsors. Try to get as many of those in tonight as we can. Perfect Power Electric and Lander supports our athletes on and off the field. Give Perfect Power a call today for all your electric needs. You can reach them at 332-7184. Lander will inbounds it in the backcourt. Worland again with the full court pressure here. St. Clair will inbounds it. Gets it to Worland. Back to St. Clair, up ahead to Bell. Almost got the over and back. No call there. Lander lucky to get away with that. Now the pass is tipped inside and stolen by Swalstead. Up ahead to Harris. Inside pass stolen by Washburn. And both teams moving the ball pretty fast. Bell has it, and he's going to get fouled up front.
Knocked off his feet. That was a good foul call.
Yeah, Owen Page for Worland. I don't know if he banged knees or what. He's going to have to come out of the game.
Yeah, it looks like he's feeling the impact of that, even wearing 2 knee pads.
So in for Worland is Mason Decker. Good name if you're a boxer. We'll see how that works for basketball. Worland has it, gets it in to Peyton Bell. One thing Peyton Bell has, his quickness is, you don't realize just how quick he is when he has that ball. Pass is tipped around and lost again. Another turnover by the Tigers. Lander being a little careless with the interior passes, trying to force it.
They have not run their offense effectively. They have points so far, but most of those are in transitions. They have not gotten a set score yet.
Interior pass to Harris. Now the pass to Dennis is lost out of bounds. It will go back to Lander. Excuse me. Bell's going to break the press by himself. Fakes the shot, the pass, but the shot is by Bell. No good, gets his own rebound. Sinclair with the offensive rebound. Washburn gets the offensive rebound, and the putback is no good, and he's going to be fouled by one of the shorter guys out there.
Nice foul on the rebound. Excuse me. Nice offensive rebound there from Bennett Washburn. Fighting in there to get the shot up, and he'll be rewarded with free throws.
Washburn free throw is good. Bennett Washburn's third point on the night. Lander up, actually they're tied 6-6. 5:15 to go here in this first quarter. Second free throw on the way, rims in and drops. The Tigers up 7-6. Swalsted pass up ahead, out of bounds, trying to get that ball to Decker. And the turnover will go back to Lander.
First big miscue we've seen from Worland in transition. See if Lander can capitalize.
Peyton Bell breaks pressure. Worland has it, now back out to Bell. Inside pass to St. Clair. Back to Washburn. He's going to be, how's that not a foul? How can you jump up in the air and land on a player and they not call a foul is beyond me.
In the girls' game, we saw the same crew, I believe, and they let the ladies play. And as we talked about at the start of the girls' game, you kind of are aware of what's being called and not called. There's nothing you can do about it as a player, and it's not worth it to dwell on it. That can only lead to bad things, so you just got to be aware that if that's how it's going to be played, I should expect some contact.
And the good thing is Washburn was able to get fouled and make both free throws. Now Worland's going to fire the three-point shot from the corner. No good. Ball down to Decker. Back out to Page on the right side. And the interior pass to Decker is going to be, he's going to be fouled on that play.
Yeah, Whelan's arm just got caught in there as he was trying to defend the pass down the lane.
So Swalsted in for Decker. And Worland will inbounds it under their own basket. Nothing there. He finally gets it to Harris. Turnaround shot, no good. A rebound comes down to Washburn. Nice job of blocking out by Bennett. Worland breaks the press. Pass by St. Clair hits the rim. And Worland's going to come down with the intended pass. 9-6, Lander up by 3 here. 4:09 to go in the first quarter. Cross pass. And shot no good by Page. There was a foul on the rebound.
Is that Washburn again? It is.
And that's a killer because that's his second foul.
Just 4 minutes in. He's going to have to come out.
And he has 6 of Lander's 9 points. So that one hurts.
Well, they need him to handle that size that Worland has inside.
Worland looked to inbounds it. They finally get it in. And the pass is lost out of bounds. I haven't been keeping track of turnovers, but that's got to be at least 5 for Worland so far. St. Clair now has it, trying to break this pressure. Ball's on the floor. And we got a jump ball.
That's a big break for Lander. That was not going well in the backcourt with that pressure from the Warriors.
Bodie Moffitt in the game for Lander in relief of Washburn as Peyton Bell breaks pressure, gets that pass up ahead to Whelan. Dangerous pass. And St. Clair has it inside. Pass back out to Sixby's knocked out of bounds. And it seems like Worland has her hand on every pass that Lander's throwing.
Oh, St. Clair did a great job just to save that possession. Could have been thrown out of bounds.
Whelan has it now. Out front, left side to Bell. Worland in the man-to-man defense. Whelan drives, pivots. Back out to Bell, now into Bodie Moffitt, drives baseline, puts up a shot. Bounces down, no good. Rebound comes down to Harris. Up ahead to Brody Field. Ball's on the floor. And we got a timeout by Lander. As again, the ball was on the floor.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that, it doesn't seem rather, Matt, that Lander's winning this game, but they are. Worland has come out guns blazing. They're wanting to execute things in transition. Bennett Washburn Sort of the big man answer for Lander is in foul trouble early. He already has 2. Had 2 personal fouls in the first 4 minutes, so he's on the bench. And Worland has every indication here that they're trying to spark something and run away with this game. To credit the Tigers for hanging in, and no, it does not seem like they're up by 3, but the Tigers do have a 3-point lead.
I think a big part of that is the turnovers, and you're going to have Worland for right about 5 turnovers, and we'll see how that goes moving forward. But
especially with Washburn on the bench, I would do my best to slow things down. I haven't really seen Lander run their offense, partly because of this trap.
St. Clair has it up ahead to Peyton Bell. Inside pass to Moffitt. Back to Bell up front.
See a set play here from Lander.
In the corner to Bell. He's going to shoot the 3. That's not going to be good. Rebound comes down to Harris.
That was a good look for Peyton Bell. This may have even slipped on the release there.
Caballero had it out to Swalstead. Right side to Caballero. He's going to bring it back out front. Looks like Lander still in this 2-3 zone. Corner to Swalstead. Fires a 3-point shot. It's good.
Good ball rotation from Worland on that play, and a nice finish with the 3.
That one had some serious air time on it. And Lander breaks the press. Nice save there by Talon Whelan. Nothing in the corner. They're going to pass goes out to Sixby. In the corner to St. Clair. Fires another 3-point shot. It's no good. And that's going to go off Peyton Bell back to Worland.
So Lander's going to lose the possession, but that was a great possession. There was a nice drive in by Sixby and a kick out. It just didn't fall that time for Lander. Well, they're going to try and counter with their own pressure.
It's an interesting game so far. Neither team really been able to establish any momentum. Now Worland breaks the press, gets it back out to Swalstead. Back in the corner to Caballero. Back to Swalstead. Inside to Harris. He loses it. I guess it's tipped out of bounds. It'll stay Worland basketball. But Scott, if I'm Worland, I'd want to go into Harris every time if I could. After
especially with Washburn on the bench for Lander. He's going to come out of the game though as Harris.
Because every time he got that ball inside, he had some nice shots to score.
Well, he's not going to be on the bench for long, I don't think.
Worland has it. Get out front to Swalstead. Dribble drive left side to Caballero, back out front. Worland trying to find somebody open. Page has it. Back to the corner. Left side to Swalstead. 1:17 to go here in the first. It's all tied up. Shot is no good, but the putback is by Brody Field. And Worland's going to take an early lead here. And the pass is going to be stolen on that fast break. And the putback is going to be good by Owen Page as Worland capitalizes on the turnover.
This full court press from Worland is as effective against Lander as I've seen all year.
3-point shot, no good. Bodie Moffitt with the rebound. Now in the corner to Peyton Bell for 3. That's no good. Worland comes down with the rebound. Here comes Swalstead. Ball's on the floor momentarily. Worland with the 13-9 lead. They trailed most of this quarter. Lander even had a 9-6 lead, but Worland here on a 7-0 run.
See if they want to hold for the last shot. Nope.
Turnaround shot, no good. Fight for the ball. You got a jump ball. It's going to stay Worland basketball.
So 13 even in the first quarter remaining.
Tyshawn Swalstead will take it out of bounds. Looks like we have a quick sub here. Finn McFadden in for Talon Whelan.
Worland, I think, probably feeling pretty good unless they get a wide open look. I think if I were them, I'd hold for the last shot.
Inbound pass. His shot is no good by Field. Rebound by McFadden. 6 seconds to go. Finn fires a long 3-point shot. Thought that was going to go at just a little short.
You see what the Worland student section did there, Matt? There were 6 seconds left on the clock, and they started counting down from 3, 2, 1, and it worked. Forced the shot before he had to.
Yeah, there's 0 time on the clock, so I'm not sure. Maybe they're going to...
There should be, I would say, a second, maybe less. They're going to say 0.1.
I have seen that strategy done at numerous home courts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not knocking it at all. That's... You got to be aware that you're on the road, and the crowd yelling how much time is left is not helping you. They're going to add 10 seconds, though, to the end of this first quarter, which makes no sense. No, it should be about 3.
I was going to say that
less than 3
would not make sense.
I think it's just trying to operate the scoreboard and adding time here. I think it went out of bounds with about 2.5 left. Now they're adding a single second.
Looks like the Lander assistant helped the scorers get that set up. So 1 second to go. Worland's going to inbound it under the back basket. Get to Harris, back to Caballero for a long three-point shot. Almost went in, but it would not have counted anyways. So 1 quarter gone here. Worland up 13-9 over Lander. Take a quick timeout, and we'll be back with the second quarter and more action.
Why do we enforce seatbelt laws? Because in real life, you don't get a second chance.
Justice Jacobs State Farm Insurance Agency, where friends go. Justice and his team are dedicated to helping you protect what's important. We offer a variety of insurance products and services to help you protect what's important to you. With customizable coverage plans, safe driving rewards, and discounts, Justice Jacobs can help you create a solution that's right for you. Go Tigers! Visit us at 990 Main Street in Lander or online at insuredwy.com.
Matt Myers back with Scott Fuller here for second quarter action as the Tigers will get the ball first. McFadden, Sixby, Whelan, St. Clair, and Moffitt in there for the Tigers. Whelan has it out front. Pivots, drives into the basket, puts up a shot, and no good. And there's Harris with the rebound. That's that height advantage he has.
And back in the game after just a brief rest at the end of the first quarter.
Caballero has it out front, now to Swalstead. Worland working that exterior of the court, and they get it and try to get it inside to Harris, but the ball is tipped away, and it falls in the hands of Grant Page. And Page comes up with the basket. He got a gift on that one.
Could have easily been a turnover.
Whelan's going to fire a three-point shot. Looked good, but it's short. And shot goes out of bounds. Back to Worland. Just underway here in the second quarter. 7 minutes to go, and Worland up 15-9. After Lander's good start. Contact there in the play, no call. Lander gets the ball back after the Worland turnover. Worland will drive in the lane, gets it back out to Sixby. Back to McFadden. Nice move by McFadden. St. Clair drives in, puts up the shot, and that's good. Nice job by Noah St. Clair to get the defender in the air and then shoot when he was coming down.
That's a beautiful play, textbook. Tallest defender on the floor for Worland, too, he did that against.
Another interior pass is stolen by the Tigers. Nice job by Finn McFadden to get that ball. Lander back on offense. It's Whelan, drives in the basket, shot no good. Worland back on offense. Swalstead with it. Dribble drive right side. Back out to Caballero. I think that ball was tipped. Nope. Coach not happy for Worland.
I think that was directed at his player, throwing the ball away.
So Tigers back on offense. Finn McFadden with it out front. Back to Moffitt. Nice seeing Bodie Moffitt getting some quality time there. St. Clair back to Sixby. Now McFadden. Tigers just working their offense here.
That's what I want to see. And every bad break is that ball is smacked by a Worland player right off the Tiger out of bounds. It's just been one of those nights for both the boys, or the girls certainly, and the boys so far.
15-11, Worland up here in the second. Inside pass is good to Grant Page. Nice pass.
I like the strategy, though, Matt, of running your offense if you're Lander. Slow things down. Transition is not your friend in this matchup. Certainly wasn't in the first quarter. So run that offense, get some good looks, and the shots will fall eventually.
St. Clair's going to drive. Puts up the runner. That shot is good by St. Clair.
I don't know how. It was a beautiful, tough angle. Required some spin with his left hand off the backboard. That was a pretty shot.
Now the pass is tipped, and it goes back to Worland in the corner to Michael Williams. That's the second pass tipped by Lander right back to Worland player for a basket.
That's the first half it's been. Lander not benefiting from the tips, and Worland, when it's a tip, it's a bucket.
Pass stolen by Caballero. He misses the shot. And Worland hounding St. Clair on that rebound, and they foul him.
He'll be one of the two Warriors who was guarding him. So the first foul for Worland. Washburn is checked back in, so is Peyton Bell. So Washburn has 2 fouls. Lander big man hoping to survive the remaining 4:24 of the first half without acquiring a third.
Tigers back on offense. Corner pass to Whelan. Back out to Bell. Thought about driving. Nothing there. Whelan loses the ball and calling for the travel. Looked like he either slipped or just his foot caught. You get that extra grip sometimes. That's happened on the floor where you grip and then down you go. But
well, I've seen that before, and I've noticed it because he's found something with that right wing driving across the lane. It's worked for him, but I've also seen him slip doing that on different floors. I honestly wonder about his shoes. I've seen that too many times from him driving in off of that right elbow.
Well, and I'll say this. Having played basketball for a number of years, it's kind of funny you say that, because if you get a basketball shoe that's just one size too big, that's what'll happen. You'll trip.
Yep. And could be a tread issue too, but I mean, it could be a coincidence, but that's such an effective play for him. I've wanted him to do that more because nobody's expecting it. It's open, and he's quick enough on the dribble to do it. He doesn't slip more than not, but I have seen him slip there a couple of times. And there can't be the same slippery spot on the floor in 2 or 3 different gyms, which is a bad break for Lander because that was a good-looking possession right up until the slip.
4:08 to go here in the second quarter. Worland will get the ball back on offense following a timeout. Swalsted's going to take it out of bounds in the backcourt for Worland. Gets it in bounds to Caballero. Worland breaks the press. Lander staying in that 2-3 zone. They get it back out to Williams. Out to Swalsted, looking inside, nothing. Now they try to get inside. The ball stolen by Whelan. And that ball's going to be stolen by Swalsted up ahead to Caballero. And yeah, I was going to say, Bennett, you got to be careful there. And he's going to pick up his 3rd foul.
Not a good foul either in transition. I know you want to make a play. I know your instinct after a turnover by your team is to try to use that size to get a block down low, but you have to be aware that He got 2 and now 3 fouls for Washburn. There's still 3.5 to go in the first half. Washburn's going to have to sit again. This time he'll have to sit, I'm sure, for the rest of the first half. With 3, I'm not sure he starts the second.
Yeah, that's one where you just got to run out of there and not even worry about it. Second free throw is good by Caballero. And Worland's up 22-13. Pass up ahead to Sixby. He breaks the press and scores. That's his first basket of the night.
Sixby, one of the players I was thinking of in the Porter's Tailgate show, if who's going to be that guy that steps up. He has been one of them in the past for the Tigers.
Shot no good by Page, and the Tigers back on offense. Worland has it. Back out to McFadden. Sixby drives right side, nothing there. Puts up the short rim shot, left-handed, and it goes in. And I think you're on to something, Scott. There's a turnover by the Tigers. Up ahead to Bell. Bell is going to be fouled, and he scores.
That's 4 points for the Tigers in just about 4 seconds. It was under 10 seconds of a game time, and that's the kind of Lander Tiger brand of basketball you like to see. This is a team, especially when you're outsized. That's a team that really thrives in transition, and they don't have to deal with a full court press. And you pointed out Bell's quickness, as quick as anybody on the floor.
That is, Lander had 13. They've outscored Worland 7-0 here in just the last minute. Only down 22-20. 2:49 to go in the second. Harris has it. He's going to lose the ball, but he's going to be fouled. Lander fans wanted to travel, but I think the foul is the correct call.
Can't overstate the importance of the last about 60 seconds of game time for the Tigers. They've really gone on a nice little run here. Let's see if they can turn this into an empty possession for Worland.
Inside pass to Page. Turnaround shot, no good. Ball's on the floor.
That's what we're looking for.
Page does a nosedive, no call there. McFadden with the rebound out to Sixby for 3. Shot is good. Scott Fuller, you called it. Parker Sixby lighting things up.
I only called it because I've seen him do it before. He's one of those spark plugs for Lander's offense that when you need someone to step up, he's the guy, and he certainly has been the last 2 minutes.
Lander takes the lead, 23-22. I think Worland's a little bit in shock. 10-0 run here by Lander. And again, this is, Coach Mullins has said this, when they played Powell, he goes, we played 3 good quarters. It was just that one other one that killed us. And Lady Tigers, same way. When they're on, they're hard to beat.
Oh, it's huge because we were on our way, I think, to easily a 10-point Worland lead at halftime, but Lander has done away with that.
Sixby almost got the steal. Inside pass to Harris. Goes in the corner, back out front to Theo, right side to Page. Back to Theo. In the corner to Caballero. Oh, he drug that pivot foot. No call there. Back to Theo, now in the corner to Harris. Puts the shot up, and it's good by Chase Harris. Worland back on top is Finn McFadden. Puts up the shot, no good. Rebound comes down to Worland. Worland back on offense. Here comes Sixby with the steal. Nice pass to Whelan. Shot up and good. Sixby with the no-look assist.
He has found some kind of zone late in his first half.
Harris gets it out front to Caballero for Worland. And they're sticking with that 2-3 zone. Cross-court pass to Caballero. Three-point shot is going to miss everything. And there's Parker Sixby with a rebound. Up ahead pass, to St. Clair. A nice pass from Finn McFadden to St. Clair. He just couldn't quite hang on to it. Finn McFadden is a great passer. Just couldn't quite land that one.
45 and counting left in this first half.
It was McWilliams' shot up and good. Puts Worland back on top by 1. Peyton Bell's going to hold the ball out here out front. 25 seconds to go. Again, Worland up by 1. Whelan has it, drives out to Sixby. Back to McFadden. 12 seconds to go. Back out to Sixby, fires a three-point shot. It's good! Parker Sixby in a zone here. 1 second to go. Half-court shot up and away. Almost made it.
I don't know what happened to Parker Sixby, but he has just about single-handedly brought his Lander Tigers back into the game.
Parker Sixby with 10 points in the second quarter to ignite this rally, and Lander goes into halftime up by 2. They were down 22-13 and outscored Worland there in that last few minutes, 15-4. So,
and that's what you have to do. Excuse me, you have your big man in foul trouble, and when you have some key elements of your offense that just aren't hitting, Worland did not have a bad first half, but you're used to him shooting from long twos or threes, and that wasn't falling for him. And the entire first quarter, the Lander Tigers just couldn't get a good angle on the basket, or a ball would be tipped off of one of their teammates. It just wasn't going their way, all the way into about 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. That's when Parker Sixby entered the building and just poured it on in every way, not just those 10 points scoring, Matt, but he was helping in transition. He was good on defense. He really was the spark plug that the Lander Tigers needed. This could easily be a 10-point Worland advantage here at halftime, but Lander sent the Warriors into the locker room having to reset things a little bit.
Yeah, it's almost like somebody said, "Where's Sixby? Oh, he's in the parking lot. Somebody
Right.
go get him.
Get him off the bus." Yeah, no, that's as good as I've seen him play. Obviously, knew he was capable of that, but to put it together in that short period of time, and it's that zone. People talk about it. I'm not sure if you can quantify it, but when you know, and you let it go, and you know it's going to go in, and that's what Parker Sixby has found. So now let's find some other Tigers who can add to the scoring in the second half and get off to a strong third quarter start. And if Lander does that, I think they're in pretty good shape. But it required some great individual effort there to close the gap for the Tigers.
Well, and Sixby also had an awesome pass on a fast break and got a nice rebound as well. So he kind of sparked that, and that's what you need. But yeah, as far as who else is going to step up, Bennett Washburn had 6 quick points for the Tigers, and then he got into foul trouble. And like you said, he's sitting on the bench with 3. That third one, he probably should have just got out of the way. But that's that competitive instinct. You want to try and block that shot.
I'm not sure if you can start him. You really need him to kind of try to cancel out Harris on the other end, who's 6'4" and very talented player for Worland. But if he gets another foul in the first couple of minutes of the third quarter, you have to sit him until about 3 or 4 minutes are left in the game. So I don't know. That's an interesting decision Coach Mullins is going to have to make. Usually you go back with your original starting 5, but if he's starting in the second half, and he knows this, but it's a reminder of, be smart. We absolutely need you when the clock hits 0 in this game. So you're sort of on notice of foul trouble because he's already got 3.
I think that's where that zone came in play there, as Lander did a great job of, even though Washburn is on the bench, of keeping him from being that scoring threat. But, you look at the other Lander Tigers as far as scoring goes. Of course, Washburn with 6. Whelan had 5. St. Clair with 4. And Peyton Bell with 3. So you have 4 players for Lander score. I'm looking at Worland, and I'm just going to count here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players scored for Worland. So I don't know if this coach just hasn't found a rotation he's comfortable with, or if he's just letting everybody have a shot to play.
Well, I think it's a good problem to have, though, if you're that balanced where you're able to get contributions from everybody. From Worland's perspective, that's certainly better than the opposite. Worland's not a team, apparently, that's going to rely on 2 or 3 stars. They have people that can chip in all over the place. But they also, with the exception of Parker Sixby's just very impressive individual effort at the end of the half, it doesn't feel like Lander has found its stride yet. Similar to the girls, where they're still looking for Lander basketball a little bit. It's part of that consistency that we talked about. Fortunately for Lander fans, Parker Sixby just left his mind at the end of the first half and brought his team back into the game. But you can't ask any one player to keep doing that for the rest of the game. So let's find that brand of Lander Tiger basketball that we know they can play in the second half.
Well, I think he's aware that the NBA All-Star game's coming up, and you want to play your best ball before the All-Star break, you know. So, yeah, great effort all around by the Tigers there to take that lead here. Coach, we got Coach Drew Powell of the Lander Tigers with us. Coach, a tough loss versus Worland. We're discussing this again. The Tigers just had another slow start where they just could not get going into that second half. What are you seeing there that maybe you need to change or adjust anything there?
I think the biggest thing is we just need to get the first one to go. We had, I think, 4 opportunities back to back right there at the beginning, and we didn't make any of them. And then we had some opportunities where we probably could have scored in transition, but we were trying to go through 2 people instead of making that extra pass and making it a little bit easier on ourselves like we did on the fourth quarter. But, you know, kudos to them. They had a pretty good game. I think they shot the ball probably about as good as they have all season. But really just came down to we just got to play a little bit better team basketball, the kind of basketball we have been playing lately.
Another stat we noticed was Kiara Friday and Adeline Anderson, no points in the first half. But Kiara Lincoln sparked that comeback in the second half, got the team going, you know, just to fall a little short. But did you notice anything with Friday and Anderson in the first half that, you know, why they weren't scoring at all?
I think that the size matchup's just a little bit better against this team than we have against most teams. I know that Adeline was down there banging against the big posts, and she was doing a good job, and we didn't get her the ball much early. That's why we kind of went to a 5-out offense later to try to get some more touches. And then Friday, I think she just needed to get a little bit of confidence in her shot. She had some opportunities, but they just didn't fall for her today.
So, you know, a game like this, you don't like to lose any games. But, you know, you're still 2 weeks away from regionals. What's the positive message you can give your team about a loss like this?
I think the biggest thing is it's a learning lesson. When it comes down to the end of the game, there's some things we can learn on. I think we had a pretty good run going there. And then we kind of spoiled it right there at the end and let them shoot some free throws. And then we just came down and didn't make the best decision right away. I think we probably should have pushed the ball in transition right there, and I think we would have had an opportunity. But it's just learning lessons for them. And then I think the biggest thing is just getting back to playing team basketball. I think that's probably our best bet. I think that's where we're at our best, and we've proven that earlier in the season. So it just comes down to getting back to that.
Right, I agree. And, you know, the one thing we've talked about is Lander, the girls team, they're scary. I mean, record doesn't necessarily show it, but when your guys are playing your game, you can stay in there with just about anybody in the state. And so, you know, I wouldn't want to be playing you going into regionals because of that very fact, because it's like when you're on your game, you know, I think just about every team in the West you can beat. And so I think that's another good thing, you know, you can take from this too, is you can learn, hey, let's get back to our style of basketball. But, yeah, I appreciate that thought too, how it can be a positive learning experience. Sometimes it's, you know, you play Jackson on Tuesday, you know, they're 0-15, and you win, but maybe, you know, did we learn a lot from that? And then we play a team with another losing record, and I think these are the ones that can get your attention going. We can't take anybody lightly.
Yep, I agree with that, and it'll be nice to have a full week of practice this week. That game on Tuesday kind of just threw us off from our normal routine. If we could just get back to our normal routine, I think we'll get right back to where we need to be.
Well, Coach, thanks for coming up. You've got Thermop and Lyman next week at home to close out the regular season, and we look forward to those. So thanks for coming up. Again, great job with the girls, and good luck next week.
All right, thank you.
Coach Drew Powell of the Lady Tigers, tough 1-point loss to Worland here. And again, you know, you've said this many times, Scott, the Lady Tigers are heading in the right direction, and when they're on their game, they play with just about anybody.
Well, big picture, I mean, there's how young they are and how much they've improved this year. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's the big picture over the next couple of years. But there is, you know, the hope that they can make a run in regionals and possibly beyond that. So that's the more immediate circumstance for the Lady Tigers. And I have no worries at all about the next 2, 3, 4 years of this program. I'm a fan of what I've seen of Coach Powell so far. They have so many talented sophomores and young girls on that team. They're really going to be returning a good majority of what makes them dangerous at the very least next year. So, yeah, the Lady Tigers are going to be a lot of fun to watch, I think, for the next couple of seasons. But with this group individually, you want to see how far they can go, and that's what they're going to be focused on over the next couple of weeks.
Yes, for sure. And also got a sophomore, Dagan Reinhardt, who was starting to get a lot of good playing time, and then broke her finger, so she is out for the rest of the year. She's a sophomore. So, yeah, lots of talent in that class. So there's other players that we haven't seen from that sophomore class very much. Addie Rounds is another player who's seen some great playing time on junior varsity, and Jamie Sholio-Ferris. So lots of young players. And we're already back to live action, so we better get refocused on the boys team here as again, Lander up 28-26 as we start this third quarter. Matt Myers here with Scott Fuller. Ball back out front now. Kidgel. Back to Swalstead. Lander staying with that 2-3 zone. Pass almost stolen by Whelan.
Notice Bennett Washburn is not out there to start for Lander in the second half with 3 fouls.
Interior pass to Harris. They're going to call the offensive foul. Nice job by St. Clair to take the charge.
He's got a grin on his face there. He knew what he was trying to do, and he was able to bait the offensive player Harris into driving right into him. That's a heady play. Sneaky little play, but good turnover.
And that's his second foul, so hopefully the Tigers can get him in foul trouble. Worland with their full court press, and Bell has it, breaks pressure. Up ahead to Sixby in the corner to Whelan. Fires three-point shot, no good. The ball comes down, and it's lost out of bounds by Dennis. Back to the Lander Tigers. They'll get the ball underneath their own basket. Bell looking to inbounds it. Gets it to Sixby from the corner for 3. That's no good. Harris has it for Worland up ahead to Kidgel. And Kidgel with the basket. His first basket of the game. Again, Worland getting everybody. They're going to have to start pulling people out of the stands. Everybody keeps scoring for them, and everybody contributing. All tied up at 28. Bell's going to drive and put the runner up. It's no good, but that's a foul on Harris. That's going to be his third.
That's number 3, and you can't lose a step on Peyton Bell up high like that. You have no chance of recovering. He's just way too quick. Bell blew up by his topside defender, then found Harris underneath. Harris at 6'4", Bell at 5'4", with a full foot on him. Bell still able to get the shot off and draw the foul.
And the first free throw is good. Peyton Bell's good at that. He can jump probably the best of anybody in this gym, but he's able to do that little up and under scoop shot to avoid the block. Second free throw on the way, no good. Worland with the rebound. Up ahead to Thiel. Kidgel's going to throw that out to Swalstead. Now Worland working their offense. Tigers staying with that zone. Kidgel's going to fire a 3. It's no good. Fight for the ball comes down to Worland. That rebound and putback is no good. Another rebound is good finally by Grant Page as Brody Thiel missed a couple. And now we got a foul. Good sportsmanship there by Worland.
Yeah, inadvertent contact there, but a good call.
Foul is on number 3, Brody Thiel. That's Worland's third team foul.
Worland back up by 1, 30-29. Bell with it. Breaks pressure in the corner to Sixby. Out to Bell. In the corner to St. Clair. Back to Whelan, excuse me. Bell's going to set the offense out front. Looking to get it inside. Nothing there. Out to Sixby again in the corner. Three-point shot is good.
Catch and shoot there. Sixby had to go to the corner, knowing that he was going to try to catch and shoot, and he did a great job of balancing his weight and getting his feet in the right spot so he could put up a good shot.
Ball's on the floor, and Sixby just kind of laid on it.
I was going to say his brilliant night continues, and he really only turned things on for the Tigers at the end of the first half. But, man, has he made a difference.
Yeah, and he is continuing to contribute with that jump ball. Back to the Tigers on offense. Whelan with it, inside pass to Sixby, back to out front to Whelan, driving down the lane, has the ball stolen. They're going to call a foul.
Yeah, one of the defenders reaching in on Whelan, I believe.
Yeah, that's going to be Owen Page.
Moving the ball around very well. Lander seems to have found that Tiger quickness in their set offense, which really lacking size is what they have to do.
McFadden's going to drive, puts up the runner, the shot's no good. He's going to be fouled. Nice drive by Finn McFadden.
Tigers playing as well to start this second half as they've played all game. Of course, Parker Sixby at the end of the first half doing what he could to spark that, and good to see the rest of his team has stepped up, and they're playing as well as this Lander team can. And when they're playing like this, Matt, they're difficult to stop.
They sure are, yes. Finn McFadden makes first free throw. He'll be back up there for his second. That is good as well. Nice job by Finn McFadden. Press back on. Lander up by 4, 34-30. 5:03 to go in the third. Worland's pass is going to be tipped, and they get it back. Oh, and the running shot by Brody Field. I guess you got to count that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was a fortunate possession, though, for Worland. It was not organized, that's for sure.
Tigers back on offense in the corner to Whelan. Fires a three-point shot. It's good. Talon Whelan and Lander starting to find their rhythm in their shots here in this third as they go up 37-32.
Whelan starts shooting, and Sixby keeps shooting. Watch out.
Right sideline.
Caballero back out to Swalstead. Worland moving that ball in the perimeter, looking for somebody. Now Swalstead had it. He's going to drive down the lane, puts up the runner, shot, no good. McFadden with the rebound, and he throws the turnover. And Worland's going to miss the easy shot. Second shot is good by Page. And Worland gets a give me. Sixby with the pass to St. Clair. Turnaround shot, no good. Blocked by Page.
St. Clair trying to go under the basket as opposed to straight up. He had a tough angle, but that made the shot easier to block with a couple of Worland defenders there.
Second half here, Grant Page steps down the baseline.
And now the pass is going to be thrown out of bounds by Owen Page.
Tide has turned in this one, Matt. You can feel it. Lander's playing as well as they have, and now Worland's getting the strange bounces and the tips out of bounds against them.
I just realized too, Scott, I kept going Page, and I look down, and so Worland has two Pages out there. So they got to be brothers. They do have a little resemblance. Lander back on offense. Sixby with the three-point shot, no good. Fight for the ball. Comes down to Field, up ahead to Caballero. Worland back on offense. Page drives, loses the ball. Whelan has it. He loses the ball. And we're going to have a foul on Worland.
Scrum results in a foul against the Warriors. And the tide of just can't go right has fully changed now from Lander to Worland. Lander is doing just about everything they want to do, and when it comes to bounces and scrums and scrambles and turnovers, Worland has got the short end of the stick here in the third quarter.
So Whelan will be at the free throw line. That is Worland's 15th foul.
Already.
First free throw is no good by Whelan.
Lander has no team fouls in this half.
Second free throw on the way. It is good. Lander back up by 4, 38-34. Page has it. Up ahead to Page. Now the interior pass is stolen. Lander on the run. Shot no good, and it's going to stay Lander basketball. Bennett Washburn lucky not to get an over-the-back foul on that play down low.
He has checked in late here in the second half of the third quarter. He has 3 fouls. Lander needs him to finish the game.
Inbounds pass Finally goes into Brooklyn John just in the game for the Tigers. Back up to Whelan. Looking for somebody to throw it to. Finds John. Back to Bell. He's going to drive in the basket. Puts up the runner. Shot no good. He had the basket in the look. Now the pass up ahead is going to be knocked down, and Sixby's going to be called for the foul. He's talking to the referee, just kind of asking, what did I do there?
Well, he's definitely into the game with emotion. He's obviously earned his excitement. He's had a great game, but that's only his first, and that's only Lander's first of the second half.
So 2:39 to go in the third. Worland will inbounds it under their own basket. Inbounds it to Caballero. And we got a new player in there. That's Gunnar Mascaro for Worland, another player.
It's a great name.
Mascaro, yeah.
Gunnar Mascaro.
Now here comes Worland back to Page, out front to Mascaro. Dribbles in, loses the ball, gets it back, and now the pass goes out of bounds. And Worland, Lander's defensive pressure has continued to cause trouble for Worland.
Yeah, Worland is not in control of the game and hasn't been since halftime. And Lander has done a great job of seizing that, helped out by Parker Sixby's individual performance at the end of the first half. But the rest of the Lander Tiger team has really grasped hold of this game in the second half.
Now McFadden drives in, puts the runner up. It's no good. Had a nice look there. Worland back on offense. I don't think I've seen a team this year, or actually, if I ever have seen a team play this many players off the bench. Just everybody's gotten to play, at least some, in this game. Now the pass is on the floor. Bell has it. Up ahead to John. Fires a three-point shot, and no good. Fight for the rebound. And it's going to be tipped out of bounds. Looks like they're going to call a foul on Parker Sixby again.
So you get the turnover, and I think it's natural to be in that transition mindset and go, go, go. And John has a look there, but hang on to that. Milk another 30 seconds off the clock and run your offense a little bit. Easy for me to say when the shot doesn't go in. If it goes in, obviously it's a great play, but it's kind of a wasted turnover for Lander.
Page has it out front. Cross-court pass to Kidgel. Three-point shot, no good. Fight for the rebound, comes down to Page. And shot is good by Grant Page.
I think we are set for a fun finish to this one. Hopefully it's fun with a Lander victory, but this has the feeling of one that's going to evenly go down to the wire.
Very well could. Now the ball's on the floor. Worland comes up with it. Owen Page, dribble drive left side. Back out to Grant Page. If only we could turn the page. Worland back off. Sorry, that was bad. Drive in the lane. Shot is no good. Sixby with the rebound. 40 seconds to go.
There's Parker in there doing everything, getting defensive rebounds.
Shot up and good by Finn McFadden. Boy, that's good to see with Finn. Love to see him get some confidence there. Pass up ahead now. Inside pass to Field. Shot is in and good. Nobody could score there for a while. Now everybody is. 16 seconds to go. Lander up by 2.
Lander's going to hold for 1 here.
Bell dribble drive right side. Hesitation. Shot now is no good. Page has it up ahead. The Kidgel, that shot almost went in.
I'm not sure he got it off. I'm glad we don't have to second guess anybody with a shot not falling, but I'm not sure that the buzzer didn't go first, but it's a moot point and a 2-point Lander lead after 3.
So let's take a timeout here, send it back for a quick commercial break, and we'll be back for hopefully a really dull fourth quarter as Lander will surge ahead. We'll see after this.
Goddard Construction is a local contractor dedicated to our community. We're proud to support our student athletes in every sport, on and off the field. We believe in hard work, crafting excellence, and building legacies, one project at a time. We bring your vision to life. Visit GoddardConstruction.com to see what we can create for you. Goddard Construction, building Fremont County one project at a time.
Northside Auto Body Shop in Lander is proud to support sports and student athletes for the 22-23 season. Northside Auto Body is a staple in the Lander community and is primarily engaged in automotive body, paint, and interior repair and maintenance. If you hit a deer or have a vehicle accident, Northside will get your repairs handled and accept all forms of insurance. Javi and the crew got you covered at Northside Auto Body Shop, 323 North 2nd Street, Lander.
Matt Myers back here on the County 10 Sports Network with Scott Fuller as we start the fourth quarter. Lander up 40-38. Both teams scored 12 points in that quarter. Nobody really asserted themselves, so Lander did take some momentum and looked like they might advance the lead a little bit. Now Harris has a shot on the putback, and he's going to be fouled.
I don't know what Bennett's doing down there. Bennett Washburn leaving his feet, really trying to make a play against Harris inside, but that's going to be foul number 4 for him. Oh, they're going to give it to St. Clair. Oh boy, that's a break for the Tigers.
Break definitely for the Lander Tigers.
So Washburn sits with 3.
Harris with a free throw that didn't look like it had a lot of confidence when he shot that, but it pleaded with the rim to let it go in, and the rim conceded, so he'll get another one. Shot on the way. That one is no good. So I don't know who that lane violation is on, but he'll get another shot. So that if he makes this, then the missed one doesn't even count. And dribbles, and that's just exactly what happened. Well, you hate to see that. We're all tied up 40-all.
You get in the tie game in the fourth quarter, it's the little things and good execution of fundamentals.
St. Clair gets the shot inside. Nice pass from Worland.
St. Clair was wide open under the basket.
Worland back on offense, trying to break this press. Swalstead, his double team, gets out of it. Inside the Page, puts up the runner. Shot is good. Nice shot by Owen Page.
And back and forth we go.
Bell has it up ahead to McFadden. In the corner to 6B. Then they're going to set their offense now.
Good decision, I say.
In the corner to 6B.
Oh,
back to Whelan. Oh, the shot is blocked.
That was
nice,
a beautiful pass
by Harris.
Harris with a beautiful block on the backside. Fortunately, after all that, it's going to be Lander inbounding under the basket, but that was a beautiful pass, and then Harris for Worland with an equally impressive block.
That would have been a layup by Lander, so Harris saves the basket, but then stepped out of bounds. Whelan back on offense for the Tigers. Bell has it. Back to Washburn. Back out to 6B. Back to Bell in the corner. Warriors in that man-to-man defense is Whelan back to Bell. He's going to drive baseline, and he is hit on and goes down on the line there.
Yeah, it's going to be fouled. You cannot lose a step to Peyton Bell, and that's been consistent no matter who's been guarding him tonight, Matt, so much so that I still want to run the offense, but after you tire out the defense a while, send Bell to the basket because nobody can keep up with him.
Now we got a shot by St. Clair. The ball was almost stolen by Worland, and Bennett Washburn with the pass to St. Clair, and he drives in, scores, and is fouled.
Noah with a nice second half as well. Been impressed with his efforts coming in.
He'll be at the free throw line trying to convert the traditional three-point shot or play. That one is no good. Lander up 44-42. Ball in the corner to Thiel. Lost it momentarily, looking for somebody. Back to Swalstead, three-point shot, no good. Ball's run down by Whelan. Nice hustle by Talon. Bell has it. He's in trouble in the backcourt and got a timeout. That's a smart timeout by Coach Mullins. as that did not look good by Lander. So full timeout. Let's send it back again for another timeout at the studio. We'll be back after this 60-second timeout.
This guy was driving way over the speed limit. Look at the damage. This guy was going a lot over the speed limit. Look at the damage. This guy was going a little over the speed limit. Look at the damage.
RE/MAX All-Star Realtors are proud to sponsor sports across Fremont County for the 22-23 season. RE/MAX All-Star Realtors was founded in 1991 with the goal of doing real estate in a way that would make our clients' lives as easy and uninterrupted as possible. They've completed many transactions involving residential, commercial, vacant lots, farm and ranch, and investment properties, and can help you with any goal you might have regarding any of these today. RE/MAX All-Star Realtors, 938 West Main Street, Riverton. See them online at remaxriverton.com.
Lander will get the ball out of bounds on the far side after the timeout. Bell will bring the ball up the court. Lander trying to steal a win here on senior night in Worland. Pass to Whelan, right side. In the pass now is stolen by Swalstead. He's going to set Worland's offense up here. Out front to Caballero, now to Page. Now to Thiel in the corner, back to Swalstead. Thought about the three. Lander again staying in that 2-3 zone. 5:22 to go here in the fourth. Lander up by 2, 44-42. Caballero's going to left side pass to Page. Into Thiel. Pass that hit the rim and went outside. Worland retrieves it.
It's a shot, technically.
Yeah. Doesn't help the percentage, but.
Good timeout there from Worland, I think.
Yeah, they looked a little dysfunctional in that possession, and it's another full timeout. So we're going to take another break with just over 5 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. We'll send it back for a timeout. We'll be back at the end of this contest.
I'm John Shade, your Edward Jones financial advisor. Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement of our young athletes from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of the Lander Tigers on KOVE. Call John Shade or stop by my office at 824 West Main Street for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Elevate Rehab's founding principle on you is evident from your first visit to the last. Our practice model ensures treatment as you deserve, a private one-on-one session with a licensed therapist the entire visit, every visit. All therapists hold advanced credentialing, including 2 certified hand therapists, an orthopedic clinical specialist, an MDT therapist, as well as pelvic floor and pregnancy rehab offerings. With over 100 years of combined experience between our 7 clinicians, Elevate is your ticket to health. Find us in Lander, DuBois, and visit our website or Facebook page. Choose Elevate Rehab to elevate your outcomes.
Worland has the ball here after the timeout. Left side to Caballero. Back out to Swalstead. Lander up here by 2. Almost lost the ball. Dribble drive left side, nothing there. Teal has it, right side pass. Back out to Page for 3. That shot rimmed in and out. And Teal with the offensive rebound and the putback.
Did end up being a good timeout there from Worland's bench. The previous possession looked all over the place. Passes going off the rim and all kinds of crazy stuff. A much more settled Warriors team out of the timeout. Chance for the 3-point play.
Shot on the way, bounces in. Worland just like that takes the lead back 45-44. Bell has it right side, breaks the press. McFadden looking right side, gets it to Bell again. 4:13 to go here in the fourth. I think just like you said, Scott, it's going to be one of those games going to come down to the wire. Worland drives in the lane, puts up the shot. It's stripped by Swalstead. And Worland will set up their offense.
In close games down to the wire like this, every dribble, every pass, every small thing can make the difference between going home a winner or a loser.
Page has it out front, left side to Caballero. Inside to Harris. Back out to Caballero. Now Page has it. Owen Page drives in the lane, puts up the shot, and it's good. Owen Page with the basket. Worland up by 3. Sixby has it. Back to Bell. In the corner to McFadden. Back out to Whelan. Lost the ball as he went to pivot. And the turnover gets it back to Worland.
That's what we're talking about with small stuff. Can't have too many of those mistakes.
Page has the ball tipped away. They maintain possession. Back out to Page, drives in the lane, puts up the runner. And they're going to call the shot good. And that's on Bennett Washburn.
That will be number 4 for Washburn. 3 Lander team fouls now in the half.
So that puts Worland back up 49-44 as just under 3 minutes to go here. Page has found a hole in that defense. Free throw drops. And we got another quick timeout.
He really has. That's a good point, Matt. A couple of possessions in a row. He's driven down that left side of the lane, relatively uncontested. And Lander trying to set on that previous and one. Lander trying to get set defensively, but the call went against him. So now it's a 6-point hill decline for Lander, and time is dwindling.
Yeah, 50-44, and like you said, Page, they moved that ball around really well, and then Page just nobody's picking him up as he drives in the lane, and so he's getting that runner, real short shot.
He's doing a nice job as a smallish kind of a guard too, positioning his body well so that he has a good angle at the basket and has the best chance of making it. But Lander has to find an answer for it with 2:58 to go.
And we'll see if Parker Sixby has been a little quiet here in the second half. They're going to need him. Somebody's got to step up here.
Whelan, too.
Whelan, yep. Worland with the full court press. If Lander breaks it, Bell has it. He's going to be run over by Harris. That's smart by Peyton Bell. Yes, he drove into Harris's body to draw the foul. That's going to be his 4th.
Well, he's a fearless player, Peyton Bell is, so you know when he gets knocked off his feet, it was quite a bit of contact.
Lander back on offense. Sixby in the corner for 3. It's good. Did we call it or what? There he is again. That brings Lander back to within 3. Swalstead breaks the pressure, gets it out to Page. He's going to drive in the lane again. And he misses his shot. Ball's on the floor being fought for. That goes off a Worland player. Nice hustle by Worland. I thought as Page drove in, he had that same look he's gotten before, but he just couldn't finish this time.
But you don't love that he's had that look. Lander in the last about 2 minutes of game time has not adjusted to that at all. They got to find a way to stop him, otherwise I'd just keep doing it.
Exactly. Inside pass to St. Clair. Back out to Bell. Thought about the 3. Now Sixby has it out front, being guarded closely. Back to Bell. Tried to pivot, he lost it, but Lander gets the ball back.
Nice play by Sixby to be there.
Washburn drives in the lane, puts up the shot, no good. There's St. Clair for the putback. Noah St. Clair brings the Tigers to within 1, 50-49. 1:52 to go here in the 4th. Caballero with the basketball. Kidgel back to Caballero out front, gets to Page. Left side dribble, he drives in the lane, and he scores again. Owen Page helping Worland take the lead as Peyton Bell scores at the other end on layup.
So Page has obviously found something on that drive in, but we've also been saying all game that no matter who is guarding Peyton Bell, nobody is quick enough to keep up with him either. So normally wouldn't necessarily advise this, especially for Lander. It's not quite their style, but it's clear that Lander's point guard has a step on everybody. So after you make a couple of passes, that's a high percentage shot. You drive in there and get a good angle, and that might be something you look at for Lander down the stretch.
30-second timeout. Worland up 52-51 with the ball. I don't know that Coach Mullins would do this, but you wonder if changing to a man-to-man defense might throw Worland off.
Yeah, that's interesting, and I like that maybe for a fix on Page. Maybe throwing a different look defensively will make him think twice about driving, because what Lander has been doing has not stopped him in this fourth quarter.
Owen Page, he's only a 5'11 senior, but he has definitely been hurting Lander on numerous occasions here. Worland with the basketball, breaks pressure. There goes Page again. And he scores again.
Owen Page has decided to take over this game for Worland in the fourth quarter, similar to Parker Sixby did for Lander at the end of the first half.
1:13 to go. It's a three-point game. Lander with the ball. Bell has it. Back out to Sixby. Hesitation drive. Whelan's going to fire a long three-point shot, and it's good. Taylor Whelan.
I'm not sure I love that look in that situation, but it went in, and that's all that matters for Lander.
We're all tied up. And, you know, that foul there's on, as Harris got the interior pass, I think he's going to be fouled by Washburn. That's going to be 5.
That would be 5 for Bennett if they call him. I think it's actually 6, but Bennett Washburn made it to the end of the game with 49.2 seconds. The Tigers have definitely been hurt by his foul trouble. He's had to sit on the bench a lot more than he typically does. And now the tallest player for the Tigers is out of the game in a tie game with 49.2 to go.
Oh, Finn McFadden will come in to replace Bennett Washburn. He's on the low post. Swalstead will look to inbounds it. All tied up here. And Worland's going to have to take a timeout. Nice job by Lander on defense. Worland's going to take a full timeout, so let's send it back for a quick 60-second timeout.
Baldwin Creek Rental Service in Lander is a proud supporter of sports and athletics here in Fremont County. Baldwin Creek Rental Center understands how expensive specific equipment can be, especially if it is for a one-time use or event. That is why they offer tools, equipment, and party supply rentals. For many years, Baldwin Creek has provided services to clients in Lander and the surrounding areas. From lawn and garden projects to graduation parties, they have the right equipment for you. Baldwin Creek Rental Centers, 675 Baldwin Creek Road in Lander.
Welcome to High Country Hearing Centers, your source for superior hearing health care. We've been supporting Wyoming families since 1979, and we're proud to be a part of your community. We believe in the importance of hearing health for every aspect of your life, including your favorite sports. With our help, you'll hear every cheer from the stands and never miss a play. Visit us for a free hearing test and consultation. High Country Hearing Centers, serving Wyoming families.
Back after the timeout, Worland will inbounds it again under their own basket. Washburn out of the game, fouled out. Inbounds play, nothing there. Get it into Harris, turnaround shot. It's good. Chase Harris with the basket. Worland up by 2. 40 seconds to go here, 56-54. Back to McFadden. Bell with it. Back to Whelan. Back out to Sixby. Back to Bell in the corner. McFadden out front. 20 seconds to go here. Whelan driving inside, nothing there. Sixby goes in for the layup. It's good, and we're all tied up here again.
What a move by Parker, and a big bucket for Lander.
10 seconds to go. Page with it. Back out to Caballero. And we got another quick timeout with 5.9 seconds to go here. We're all tied up, 56 all.
Oh, keep it right here, Matt, for the final 5.9. That is enough time that Worland's coach has allowed them to inbound the ball and pass it twice or possibly 3 times. So you got to be aware of that for Lander. That Worland has plenty of time. 5.9 is plenty of time to get at least one good look for Lander. And if they make that, probably going to win the game. So very important, obviously, defensive possession for the Tigers.
Exactly. And if you're Worland, okay, who do you go to? You go to Owen Page, who has basically taken this team on his shoulders in the second half with 11 points.
You got Harris in there,
too. Got Harris inside.
I like Page, and with this amount of time left, him maybe set a screen for him, and him driving is going to take enough time off the clock where there's going to be almost nothing left for Lander if he makes it. So this is the chess match between the coaches, and then it's just a matter of small bits of execution. And Lander obviously looking for a defensive possession here, but 5.9 is an eternity in this game.
You got to watch the fouls because Lander, they don't have any more fouls to give.
Great point.
Worland does. They're at 3, but that's not the situation here.
So you don't want to be too aggressive that you're going to draw a foul, but you also don't want to give away a free shot either.
Page will inbounds it to the backcourt to Caballero. Left side to Teal. Inside to Page. Turnaround shot. And they're going to call a foul as well at the buzzer.
We'll see if the free throw even matters. They may just call it 58-56, but it is going to be a Warriors victory here on senior night.
Indeed, and so Lander is going to lose 2 close games here by a combination of 3 points. I'll tell you, you called it too. They worked that ball around. They found Page. He turned around and there was nobody there to stop him. There was a foul they were going to call had there been more time. Doesn't matter. Lander loses a tough game, and like somebody was just saying, this could be the first game at regionals between these two in Thermopolis, and so two evenly matched teams, and it comes down to the wire, and another tough loss for these Lander Tigers.
And just like the girls' game, wouldn't that be the rematch for Lander? I think Lander now has a feeling, obviously, for this Worland team, and I think they would probably say they're the better basketball team. But Lander got off to a little bit of a slow start. Parker Sixby just played an amazing end of the first half, and he also contributed quite a bit in the third quarter. Really liked overall the team at the start of the second half. Thought Lander got out to a great start, and then from then on it was just trading punches. And the clock hit 0 eventually. It was good play down the stretch for Worland. It was good coaching to take that timeout with 5.9 to go, and then nice play to drop what turned out to be the game winner for the Warriors. So you're happy for all the student athletes of all the teams. It's about something more than just the basketball score. Happy for the seniors here for the Worland Warriors, but we obviously want to see the Lander Tigers come out on the right side of these really close games. I guess if there's one thing you can say about this season as a whole, Matt, without knowing how it's going to end up in regionals or possibly beyond for these Tigers, is how many close games that they've been on the wrong side of, and I think that's part of the learning process when you're trying to establish something as a program. So it's something that Lander's obviously going to take away, hopefully with a productive chip on their shoulder for the last 2 games of the year, and then on to Thermopolis for the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Again, both Lander coaches are, really great about these kind of games. It can't be easy, because after a while you want to win some of these close games. But
I like them both. I just want to say on the record, and I have before, that both the boys and the girls coaches, Powell and Mullins, are doing great things with their respective programs. I really like how they play inside of their players, meaning within the confines of what they're able to do physically. They're not forcing players to conform to their system. They're taking a look at what they have and drawing up something that will give them the best chance of success. And that's the definition of coaching at the end of the day, is put your players in the best position to win. And I think both the Lander coaches, boys and girls, do that. Unfortunately for both teams, while we got some entertaining basketball here, Matt, for both games in Worland Senior Night, Lander came up short on the girls and the boys side.
Yeah, and again, you hope that if they do play at regionals, it's going to be a tough matchup, but on neutral sites, it seems like Lander has played better against these teams. The girls team did beat Worland down in Rawlins. And I think this was the first time the boys played Worland, though, this year. But, you know, Worland, Owen Page, that second half, had 13 points, and he found that hole in the zone, and they just did not have the answer to stop him. He ends up with 15 points. Chase Harris with 10. Grant Page, his younger brother, with 10, and then Brody Thiel with 8. Tyshawn Swalstead with 3. Caballero with 2, and Mason Decker with 2. Lander led in their comeback by Parker Sixby. He's going to finish with 18 points. Did a great job coming back. Taylor Whelan with 12. Peyton Bell with 6. Washburn with 6, all in the first half. He got in foul trouble. Noah St. Clair came in and did a great job off the bench with 10. And Finn McFadden, I thought he did a really good job as a freshman, just not even as a freshman, as a varsity player came in. I thought he did a good job overall as well.
He's had a great year, too, as a younger player. You know, St. Clair had a great effort off the bench. I think we got to go player of the game honors here with our Justice Jacobs State Farm player of the game. I don't know how you ignore Parker Sixby, though. I haven't seen any kind of explosion from one player on these Lander teams quite like that. They're capable, both teams, of doing it collectively, going on runs like that, but Parker really single-handedly brought his team back to where they needed to be to start the second half, and then his teammates did a great job in the second half of trying to finish the job, but Parker had just an amazing game all around. Obviously, the points at the end of the first half are easy to highlight, but he was great fundamentally, I think, wire to wire.
Yeah, and I agree. I think you have to give him the Justice Jacobs Player of the Game award. He kind of mirrored what Kara Lincoln did in the girls' game, able to help bring their team back. And again, when you've got teams that are this close, not only in record but just in talent, you got to play well all the way around. And just a tough loss for the Tigers. But we'll get Coach Mullins up here and see what his comments are. And
you got to feel for Coach, because he has been on the wrong side of this too many times this year. 2 1-point losses recently for the Tigers, and now a tough 2-point loss. I suppose you'd consider this an upset for Worland, just based on their records. But the Warriors showed up ready to play on the boys' side here tonight, and they got it done down the stretch. And Lander, again, it's about taking positives away from losses like this. You just feel for the kids and the coaching staff. It's one thing to lose, but to lose so many of these close games, Lander has been on the wrong side more than not. But again, that's part of the process. And
you want to win some of these because it can get to you mentally. You know, you get into close games and you're like, oh, here we go again.
Exactly.
And you don't want that mentality to take over either.
And it's so important in basketball, because as you get into the postseason where you're playing comparable and good teams, you're not going to blow anybody away, and you're probably not going to get blown away yourself. You're going to have 5-point games with 5 minutes to go all the time. So learning how to close out these games is something that does take some time. And can't point to one thing Lander did wrong down the stretch. Not too many mistakes. Just ran out of time, similar to the girls' outcome earlier.
Yeah, and there was a period of time when Lander came back, took the lead, and they had all the momentum.
Yes.
And it looked like they were starting to pull away. And that's, again, you have to give credit to Owen Page for Worland. He kept his team in the game. You know, we talked about Parker Sixby and some of the players for Lander. But give Worland, their senior credit. He kept them in the game and scored the winning basket. So.
And Harris was that X factor for Worland as well. He's just so tough to defend and has a great skill set. So, every team that you play has those weapons, as Lander has those weapons. But the one concerning thing about that Page stretch is it was so clear what he was trying to do, and he was able to do it over and over and over again. You do have to be able to adjust to that and find a way, even without your coach calling a timeout and drawing something up for you. You have to recognize that and say, even if it means me taking a foul because I only have 1 or 2 maybe, I got to stop this momentum and just find a way to get in Page's way. But just like Parker Sixby for Lander at the end of the first half, Owen Page, a great job for Worland at the end of the second half, and really was the difference for the Warriors down the stretch.
Indeed. Well, why don't we take a couple minutes timeout here, looking for Coach Mullins, and he should be up here before too long. But why don't we take a break, and we'll see if we can catch him here before long. We'll be right back after these timeouts.
Northside Auto Body Shop in Lander is proud to support sports and student athletes for the 22-23 season. Northside Auto Body is a staple in the Lander community and is primarily engaged in automotive body, paint, and interior repair and maintenance. If you hit a deer or have a vehicle accident, Northside will get your repairs handled and accept all forms of insurance. Hobby and the crew got you covered at Northside Auto Body Shop, 323 North 2nd Street, Lander.
RE/MAX All-Star Realtors are proud to sponsor sports across Fremont County for the 22-23 season. RE/MAX All-Star Realtors was founded in 1991 with the goal of doing real estate in a way that would make our clients' lives as easy and uninterrupted as possible. They've completed many transactions involving residential, commercial, vacant lots, farm and ranch, and investment properties, and can help you with any goal you might have regarding any of these today. RE/MAX All-Star Realtors, 938 West Main Street, Riverton. See them online at remaxriverton.com.
Porter's Mountain View Supply, your local experts in fire and water. We got everything you need for new installs to accessories, and don't forget our great selection of stoves, grills, and spas. We've been serving Wyoming for over 40 years, so you know you can trust us for quality products and expert service. Visit portersmbs.com or stop by our Riverton or Casper locations today. Porter's Mountain View Supply, located on 750 East Sunset Drive in Riverton.
Perfect Power is a proud supporter of athletics and student athletes all across Fremont County. Perfect Power provides services for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. Darren Hubble, owner and master electrician, has over 30 years of electrical experience. Darren's trustworthy team of professionals can get the job done right. Perfect Power, serving Fremont County and surrounding areas. Stop into 1320 West Main Street, Lander, or give him a call at 307-332-7184.
Matt Meyer is back here with Scott Fuller in the post-game show, and just waiting for Coach Mullins to come up and talk to us about this game. Again, a close loss by the Lander Tigers in this one, 58-56. They were outscored by Worland by, Lander had 16 points in that fourth quarter to Worland's 20. And that was the deciding factor. Scott, you said this, and you were spot on. This was going to come down to the wire. It could go either way. And games like this, you know, Worland had a lot of turnovers in this game, gave Lander a lot of opportunities. Lander also had some key turnovers. Tough losses like this, Lander, I have to go back and look how many of their games have been lost by, under 5 points, but they're just so close.
Yeah, one of them was a win. I want to say that was Lovell or Powell. I can't frankly remember. But the other two, which were right around that same time a couple of weeks ago, were single-point losses, exact same final score, actually, and now a 2-point loss. So it's just basketball. You're going to play good teams, and when you do, you're not going to run away with a game. So it's about every possession and every pass and every dribble and getting good looks. And I wouldn't say Lander at all gave this game away, nor would I say had Lander won that Worland would have given the game away. These are pretty comparable teams, records aside, stats aside. There might be minor differences here and there, but I think they're pretty on equal footing as we have head coach Mullins coming up to join us for the Bailey's postgame show.
Coach, thanks for coming up. Again, another tough loss here by 2 points. Bennett Washburn gets into early foul trouble in that first half. How big of a deal was that when he got that third foul?
Huge. Not only his third foul, but his fifth foul. Our defense looks a lot different at the end of that game if he's in there, and obviously credit them for a nice play, but he would have helped us a ton tonight, and just making some silly errors, putting himself in tough situations.
Owen Page for Worland. You know, that's one of the things that we noticed too was when Washburn went out, he was able to drive into the basket and score, kind of cut the crease in that zone, and he ended up with 15 points. Obviously, he was the one that scored that winning basket. With Washburn in there, he doesn't do that, does he?
Not as easily, no. You know, and shoot, I don't even think they made a three in the second half. You know, and I think they shot maybe 4 of them. So, you know, they made a concerted effort to get to the middle and puncture the paint. And, you know, our shot chart was not beautiful by any means, you know, with them circles right in the middle of the paint. So we've got to figure out a way to be better than that and, you know, make sure that we're protecting the paint a lot better. We've obviously figured out the perimeter. We just got to make sure that we, you know, are tighter in the perimeter or in the paint.
Parker Sixby had a nice game overall for you guys. Ends up, I think, with 18 points. Pretty consistent, 10 in the first half, 8 in the second. Sparked that comeback and got you guys in the lead. Worland had another good game, and as well as Noah St. Clair. You know, it was an all-around. I thought there was a lot of players that contributed. But like you said, you know, again, a tough loss. What do you tell your team? You know, it's got to be painful when you come up short and you're so close, because it's like you're just so close to getting over the hump. And a lot of these teams, I wouldn't want to play you guys coming down the stretch, because if you find whatever it is, that little secret, that little boost, a lot of these teams you can beat.
Yeah, and it's just consistent possession by possession, you know, and you can't have possessions off. I mean, we had them on the ropes multiple times tonight, you know, and we've just got to finish the deal. And, you know, it's a little air here, or not stepping over and being strong, or, you know, how many putbacks does the little Page get? You know, 3-4 of those things where we're just standing kind of watching him, and we just got to be tougher than that. And those are the game-changing plays where, you know, we can't stand and jump with anybody. We've got to make sure that we're boxing out and driving people out and being a little bit more physical. And so, you know, we've got to figure out some things defensively for sure. You know, it can't be a sieve, you know, right down the middle of the paint, and we'll figure those things out.
Well, Coach, you got 2 home games next week to close out the season against Lyman and Thermopolis, and good luck against those teams, and hopefully we can get a couple wins going into regional.
Yeah, that'd be good to finish out strong. That's kind of our message. Is, you know, let's go try to finish everything that we've started up to this point. And you know, we've played really good basketball here of late. We just gotta put it all together. And you know, like you said, Parker having 18 points, you know, Talon having 21 on Saturday. You know, those are just, you know, if we can put it all together, you know, that would be awesome.
Great. Well, Coach, again, thanks for coming up. Tough loss. Appreciate you coming up and sharing with us. And good luck next week. And we'll talk to you at that time. Then.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
You bet. Coach Stu Mullins, classy coach. You know, it's got to be tough. You know, coming up and when you lost several of these close games, it's not easy to come up and even want to talk. But he's always been classy about that, and I appreciate that. And like you said, just a few things here or there, and then their record's going to be at least a 500 record.
As I said before the break, I like them both. I like both Lander coaches. Coach Stu Mullins definitely wears these losses on his sleeve, but that is a reflection of the time and the energy that his staff puts in. That's a reflection of the effort that the kids put forward every day in practice and in every one of these games. And I think it's probably human nature to say we've been in so many of these this season. What are we doing wrong? What do we have to fix? But it's all part of the process of establishing what everybody in Lander wants to see from both the boys and the girls. It is a part of evolving. But, I mean, if nights like this, as a player or coach, don't sting a little bit, then you're doing something wrong too. So it's a healthy culture on both the boys and the girls' sides, and nothing but good things to come for Lander. It's just, you know, you have to go through the mud sometimes to get out of it. You have to go into the storm to get through it. So I think that's what both teams are going through a little bit, and a lot of good things to highlight. As Coach, I heard some of what Coach said there over the noise here in the gym, and defensively there are some things that they have to fix, and there always are going to be those little tweaks that you have to make, but it's one step at a time. It's getting better, and they're right there in every single one of these games. It just so happens the clock has run out a couple of times too many before Lander was on top. So 2 more games, as you pointed out, Matt, back-to-back nights, Thursday and Friday. One of those is going to be emotional for all the seniors on the cheer team and the 2 basketball teams, obviously, back in Lander, and then it's postseason basketball. So it's all part of a very long season.
Well, I think with that, we'll pretty much wrap it up. Again, want to thank all of our viewers and listeners of the Tiger basketball. And, we'll be back in Lander next week. So from Scott, this is Matt. And, again, thank everybody. Good night, and we'll talk to you next week.